Bang bang badang ding dang diggity giddy ding bang badang ding ding ooh bang badang ding dang diggity giddy ding bang badang ding ding yes black to black 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 look, there's no need to worry and no need to fret if you think we was finished, we ain't done yet. This is the platform where you can get informative topic with real intellect. Play talk the manners, raise the antennas. Andre and Karen, that's supposed to be vibe. Facebook, Spotify and Instagram. You don't forget me on the YouTube live with positive content back to back. I'm inviting all people to black to black. Yes, no be a power, it's black to black. And everybody invited. So share it and like it. For we all are united and black to black. Yes, no be a power, it's black to black. And everybody invited. So share it and like it. For we all are united and black to black. Yes. This is your mortal immortal, inviting each and every one to log on to all streaming platforms to black with your host, Andre and Karen. So subscribe, share, like and comment, and come along. Let me enjoy the vibes. Diggy diggy. Diggy diggy. Black to black. Black to black. Black to black. Black to black. Black to black.
Greetings, black to black boy. Where's the scene?
Blessed day world. Blessed day Trinidad and Tobago.
Long time we link with these ladies, boy.
On a show.
On our show, yes. On our show. Yeah, we miss all it. I know about the followers.
Good, Mendoza get jump back, yeah.
Yeah, he back in school. Front of the class.
Front of the class.
Front of the class. So what's going on there?
I mean, we.
Yeah, that's why I want to deal with something there first now. Mendoza, what you talking about it?
We see.
Good to see my crush on the live again.
Me. But I didn't want to win this though. Good to see.
Mendoza, you want to sing the theme song?
Yeah.
Black to black.
Yeah. No. Mortal sing the team song, but Mendoza is he's the teacher's pet. He's always in the front of the class. First and foremost.
Yeah.
Earliest to log on.
That was actually one of our first sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First sponsor.
Oh, we like that.
First man to spend money on the first man to spend money on the thing, you know?
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, you say no food are coming?
Alright,
Take your time, my brother.
Secret admirer.
Okay, get in trouble.
So where's the scene? I see all was out and about for the carnival.
No, that is a lie. That is a lie.
Twice maybe.
Alright,
We're
okay.
not out and
I was trying to
about.
exaggerate it a little bit.
No.
Thing.
We took this opportunity to this year to sit out of the thing in a participatory way. So we were in a space of observing.
Right.
24.
Right.
So a lot of learning, plenty meeting with elders, and actually going to events that we wouldn't traditionally go to, or we haven't gone to in a long time because we work it. We didn't work as much this season, because we set out with a specific intention around November last year of what does Carnival 24 look like for us. So yeah, we if you saw us out, it was because we went to observe a thing.
Yeah.
Or, support somebody else who was doing something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But it was good. It was a very I sleep so much.
Well rested.
Well rested.
Yeah.
Which is very strange. Usually after Carnival,
You pooped.
Yeah. Oh. But I slept a lot in January and February, so it didn't really have as much of a toll on the body.
Nice.
So all the plan that in such a way that next year when the carnival real long, all the bad.
Yeah.
Very sharp.
We're still working on the logistics of 24, the rest of 24.
Right.
But I think 25 brings with it a little more in a truer sense of the word in terms of being in more indigenous spaces.
Right.
Because that's what the work calls for now.
Okay.
You know, we have our own personal things that we want to get in terms of the learning that we're doing, and also as the Jammettes, the learning that we're doing, which also means once we learn, we will hell into something.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the
People don't
focus.
underestimate that, you know.
That's the focus.
That in order to that community that we're always talking about, in order to contribute to the community, you still have to have an existence of self outside of community. Or then you're not adding nothing to the community. You know what I mean? And then you're just depending on one person or whoever is the head or the leader of the community or whoever have the intellect to manipulate a community to think on behalf of. And that is a base for toxicity and collapse and demise. So, you know.
You say that, and automatically that should make real sense.
Shut up, you don't know.
What's that? No, because if you really look at how the community does operate sometimes. In almost every aspect of the community is that, is somebody or organization or 2-3 people are the link.
Yeah.
And everybody trying to eat off of that link without putting back something.
And that's it, they're gatekeepers.
Yeah, and people just.
So we enabling them then?
Yes.
What's been all you? What I try to do for the last couple of years is kind of take it down in the sense to some people who don't know me, it will come across as pure hating with the way certain things for Carnival is done now.
Yeah.
If you don't know me, I'm sure if you don't know man, you hear me talk about Carnival today is that. And the first thing I want to tell them, I could do like half hour, I could either go and take a Carnival loan, or I could go and spend all my money and go study nothing else, and do Carnival to have the pictures to show. But I just old enough to come from that time when we had no pictures, no cameras in the film.
Yeah, well.
I mean, our cameras was like people who were depressed.
Yeah.
Or visitors.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying there? Yeah. So it was purely about going and having a good time, and a good time didn't involve pretending to smile.
Yeah. You take pictures before you go.
You never watch some of these people and them ask to do so. What's that? So, and they're done. Yeah. The whole continent's changed.
You see it.
I see that shit.
Yeah. And they stand up in the party.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
And now there's enjoying a party the way you want to enjoy it, but then there's also just stand up there.
I mean, we can.
And then once the camera, and then you pull out your phone.
Yeah. Fake really big.
I was saying.
Fake really big.
You know? So I just old enough.
Or they give it 2 seconds. We are also live on the Jammettes Instagram. So I just realized the position I can't get everybody. So let me just step out for 2 seconds.
All right.
The Vaseline.
Look at our ring light there, or you can use the ring lights and set them up.
But it is really interesting to
mount it on top here.
Just rest it on the Vaseline.
Yeah.
No, you won't. They don't understand that is okay. They understand. That whole picture taken in party. Oh, okay. Like what's going on?
Yeah,
but yeah, that whole picture in party thing is just be like, I very rarely get it like, oh shucks. You know, I was gonna make a reel about tonight.
We forget.
Because they're so enjoying what is happening.
Your present.
Your present. But I mean, if there are photographs of me next year when on the road, because I have intentions of playing mass next year. Traditional mass. I not taking no photo with me. I hired a photographer to rock with me for the whole day.
Well, you know a photographer, so I mean, oh God.
Wankasaurus Rex.
Several, so we got to be outside. I don't want to be holding nothing. Like bonus thing if we do that.
No, I need you to walk with your phone because we have to find you.
No, you don't need to find me at all. Carnival is not trying to be the case of nobody. It's the worst. I hate it.
Bad.
Since I'm small, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of nobody, no Carnival take.
If I see you, I see you.
Thank you.
I ain't calling and sound up on no corner.
No, but again, that I start off, we just old enough
It's paid
So know
for.
about that,
To
yeah.
not know about having to do that.
You have to walk and find it.
Responsibility.
The day before, we meeting by yeah, we meeting by unit church. Yeah, 9 o'clock. If you're not there,
It's too
bad
bad.
luck, brother. You're gonna find me.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
The responsibility is not on you to find me. I'm no longer.
Yeah, that's what it is. I live in Barataria. The people I used to move with plenty partying
Yeah.
was in town.
Mm.
638 2324
Wow.
house number. When I call from that,
You really have a really fun brain.
and I say,
I'm on my own phone number.
My number, that number, but that's about.
and I say, yo,
Don't
Joel,
have to say it,
Taika, we meeting
Mhm.
by City Gate for 9 o'clock.
But then there was also the commitment.
So that was saying it. That's why I said the responsibility and the commitment.
Yeah. People used to say, oh, we go in the air. We sure, I sure to meet up
As
at
the
this
sunrise,
time.
as the sunrise.
Right?
Sure.
And then so now the food now, first things first. Since I was younger, and it's something I really as I get older, I was relationships. And I mean in a general sense, friendship, everything. I hate to wait on people.
You need to work on
Patience.
Patience. I hate to wait on people. I really try my best to be on time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Everything
And
is like-
again, so that's it. We go from that now. Look.
Because I know how you waited.
So I said, I don't work on it, but all of that was part of it tonight. Of course, it will always have somebody in the group.
Yeah.
Everybody each, you know.
Yeah.
You look
And
around.
it's one man.
Everybody don't know now, but
Yeah.
that's what it was now. And then the excitement of the. Well, I
When
don't
it-
mind
when
the
it
fact that
complete.
we don't walk to certain places again. I don't
Yeah.
mind that.
Yeah.
But the excitement of going to the space,
Mm-hmm.
And then coming back.
right? Coming back is where the movie part is for me.
Mm.
Because the
Everybody-
coming back is the talking about
Oh,
it.
but what happened?
Not just
What
that,
you
the
feel?
energy on a high, the
Yeah.
adrenaline still on
Up
a
there,
high,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
you
just
know
get
how
to share
firework-
that
Because you're so in
in the moment.
But just
Back
but
again
but
in the
nearly all
moment.
the parties in town too.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get so car savvy,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we walking back to town to get
Yeah.
respective
Yeah.
transports.
Yeah.
Flower Mills, I never traveled to Flower Mills or from Flower
Yeah,
Mills.
Nice. Walk.
Yeah, because it's
Fire fed.
Yeah.
Walk.
On the right.
You never do that now. Most of the things in the savannah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you never travel from them thing and them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PSA was the
PSA
furthest.
girl.
You understand?
And
Yeah.
and Shagram was Pier 1. Them was the furthest fets.
Oh,
Boy, we
those
get
girls
leave, we
must-
get we get leave in a Pier 1 already, you know. Not Pier 1, heliport.
And you have to walk.
And walk, same coin, you know, say walk with your coin.
Yeah.
We had to walk looking for the coin phone to call
The
home.
nearest, the
Because our
nearest phone.
father have a Kingswood.
And so you
And it's about 11 Maui.
you have to pack
And
up.
just fit in.
Maui packing that King. Because wait, it's not two trip.
Nah, you have to fit.
One and done.
Mom
Yeah.
and daddy can use the
Oh, come on. We know about that.
Yeah.
We know about
But all
that.
on
Saturday
top of
night
the
to go
fun.
Mario's and cinema. White man all on top of the back of that shit.
That's all.
And police in stuff in there. We moving. We know about
I
that.
swear to I swear to the authorities at that time when I know. Nah,
As
them.
a family,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why,
yeah.
the men
You know?
Now everybody has to car.
Three.
And
Not
again,
only
me
that,
get to
the
all of that.
transportation
The-
of things,
Yeah.
right? Cause that having to monitor vehicles and inspect vehicles
Yeah,
and be
unfortunately.
suspicious about that overpacking and whatever. You have to consider times have changed. Because
Of
even
course.
now walking right now, can't think.
No,
I'm
but
hearing
no,
people
I-
about Monday
yeah.
and Tuesday and they're saying how this has, even though people love the road and whatever, after the talking, when that again, that adrenaline and that carnival from the inside there,
Mhm.
people talking after, let me know about the sun.
Mhm.
This is not the same sun.
Nah, it's not.
So
not.
the road Monday and Tuesday felt different too, heat-wise. So
And
that was
dust-wise.
and dust-wise is another factor.
Yeah.
Because on top of Savannah dust, we have Sahara dust.
Yeah.
And it affected the taste of the Royal Castle chicken. I just had to make mention of it.
Yeah, boy. It was
It
all
is
dusty.
That Royal Castle chicken in the Savannah is a must.
Yeah.
You know, that's a tradition.
Of course.
So we didn't see that big thing was in
Yeah,
Savannah.
gotta go.
You gotta go. This year it mixed with the Savannah. I mean, that Savannah, the season is doing something. But it's a hard
Change the things.
a little bit, you know. But again, things have evolved, times have evolved, and I think that being the base of the conversation today,
Mhm.
that evolution which I think should always be welcomed, but you
Mhm.
do have to pay attention because once the gate open.
Mhm.
That means anything could come through as well,
Correct.
the good and the
The
bad.
bad, yeah.
And so having filters in place,
Important.
very important.
Yeah.
This year, I think what stood out is sorry, I'm trying to politically with this.
I don't know why.
No, it
This
matters.
is not the show for that.
No, it matters
Go ahead.
because it's easy for misinterpretation.
All right. Okay.
Right?
Okay. So you have to English it. All right. Go ahead.
The filtering process this year people seem to have an attention on things that they never had attention on.
Mhm.
And naturally, you make claims, questions. Ooh, social media, it was out of pocket this season. And not in a good way at all.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And then you have, having these questions, good, but also reach.
Mhm.
Wash your foot a little bit before
Yeah,
you jump into
observe.
that.
Yeah.
Observe a little bit.
Yeah. Observe.
But you can't.
Discernment.
Yeah, you can't stand up by the gate as though you use security. We never hired you.
Yeah.
You know which. Use a patron.
Yeah.
Know your geographical location.
We don't know you.
We don't know you. You don't know this. Let's get to know each other first,
Calm
right?
down.
And understand that one thing affects another thing.
Mhm.
And particularly this carnival season, when you have a audience that was not familiar with a lot of things and they were welcomed and encouraged to come in.
Mhm.
One of the takeaways I think overall is that people have not connected yet, that all of it connects.
Yeah.
And that's because of the capitalism of the industries
Mhm.
to operate exclusively.
Mhm.
So for example, you have where this year I can comfortably say the soca artists invested in the pan.
Yes.
They did.
In a big way.
They consciously and deliberately invested.
Mhm.
Which is something we talk about in 2021 too. When we was doing Pan on the Move documentary, we talk about it a lot. It was like, yeah, this cyclical is coming back. It's coming back.
Mhm.
So that is going to start to spend their money and
Yeah.
actually like go and talk to people and like get reinvested as you
Yeah.
say, in
Mhm.
Pan itself.
Yeah.
Oh, so said, so done.
But the
Yeah.
approach was, I think in some cases, wrong.
Yeah.
Don't walk in here like you're accustomed.
Yeah.
We never see you inside of here at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And don't assume because you're from, I think people need to be reminded to stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Not stay in your lane, but no, not stay in your lane. Know the environment that you know.
Yeah.
But because is at one level in your soca world,
Mhm.
does not automatically mean
Translate.
that you're walking bad world and now
Yeah.
they're looking, man, people don't care.
No.
Yeah, they
Very rowdy.
We don't care.
It's a whole other
Yeah.
Man,
Very
people
rowdy.
operate as a facility in itself.
Yeah.
You could spot who's not a pan person. Rest your front and give me a ease up,
Right
right?
side, I be on the periphery. I just dance on the side.
Yeah.
Know your place.
Yeah.
Know
Yeah.
your place.
Yeah.
And it's not an art form that you can learn in 1 year.
No.
It
Definitely
takes
not.
years to learn all aspects
Of
of
it.
pan.
Yeah.
And learning means learning the practical and the theory.
Mhm.
You cannot learn all of it in 1 year,
No way.
not even in 5 years.
No way.
You understand what I mean?
No way.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people, while they were into the space now, there's the attitude as though, well, I beg in my will,
So big here.
so I beg here.
Mhm.
Look, man.
On the other hand, I would admit that there are some people, I'm gonna say it, I will call names, like Teja. The first big name to call for the day.
Wow.
That poor boy have a permanent headache, He name only calling, but I can say you see, like when you see Teja moving around into these spaces that he is benefiting from,
Yeah.
he does not move in an attitude of I know here.
But
I
that has a
belong here,
lot
I'm
to
supposed to
do
be here.
with how he was brought up. That has a lot to do with his
Hmm.
personality. That has a lot to do with how he has navigated in the space of soca,
Yep.
in that soca world. So it is very much his character.
His
So-
character. Yeah.
Observe and then get involved or then put his 2 cents.
And his 2 cents is always through his work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody could tell anything about Teja's personality. Nobody could.
Nah. You can't talk
We
to
don't
that at
know.
all.
All we know is his work.
Yes.
And that is excellent. That's
Mhm.
professionalism.
Mhm.
That is what being humble and understanding the practice of humility is.
Yeah.
And so, in more ways than one, that young man deserves
Every ounce,
everything.
every
Yeah.
So the
drop,
next
every
thing, so
drop.
now, the DJ who does show the expensive part, you know,
Which one?
he say that,
That's what I'm talking about.
he say, he make a tweet about, and as you're now saying something there, I want to tag on that a little bit, and of
Mhm.
course, this is my opinion.
Mhm.
Not because you're a DJ, mean you're an expert on music.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Because he make a statement saying that plenty songs fall through the crack this season because it had a tranche release in December, my boy.
A what?
Don't do with that.
A
man.
what?
A tranche, a big set of music released in
Ah,
December.
tranche.
Yeah, but where that music was?
It right there, but they decide
Them self-employed.
and what ain't good.
That was saying, so Sintan sing any song, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sintan say, so you're a psychic.
Mhm.
Yeah. The people never heard how they can like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Who the, oh, we do that.
Yeah,
Play it. Let me decide, you know, we feel it.
Those are the cracks.
exactly.
The,
Exactly.
Just the music felt.
Exactly.
That is a big
Mm-hmm.
plenty of conversations we have in certain communities.
Mm-hmm.
There's a level of gaslighting that's been practiced in
Yes.
several ways.
so that's why I see that tweet as.
Yeah.
Because the DJs have been puppeting and gatekeeping
Mhm.
and dismissing and running bubble under the table for certain plays, and they're not going to watch it for years.
For years. But now,
And
all
then
of a
there's
sudden,
what's
no, that
there was
don't
never a
happen. That don't
mafia.
happen.
If
That
you
don't
So that's why I
go
say
get
that,
up
that's why I
by
actually when I come in, you know,
Two
how
or
well
three
into
minutes.
because one of the tweets was what DNA was the song that had the longevity.
But
But
Carnival
Carnival
contract will
contract.
be more like a classic or something.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
will be
Let me
remembered.
tell you why that is bullshit. I make the video talking about this. There's two great songs. I want to say that first.
Yeah.
I not to know go on from so bungee. No. That
Nah.
song really bad.
But just
And
go
it
tell
grown
me
me.
never find that.
Yeah? No, the song grown me. The first day he tell me about it, I
Yeah.
download it. I come marry next that time. I ain't feeling it. You know?
Yeah.
Contract?
Yeah.
Mm.
But he had another song.
2-3 days
Yeah,
later.
he did.
It's today's name and his song.
Mhm.
That is the road tune. That is our Carnival.
But it go the
A mass
contract.
tuner.
The contract grown man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you go around and what DNA did
Yeah.
for this man who, because he's a DJ, to say that and we accept that as gospel,
No, I'm not
that's
accepting.
bullshit, yo. To say that DNA
Mhm.
just had the longevity and
For the season.
Yeah.
wait till you say yeah, there's a song big when Sharon singing it.
Yeah.
Come on,
Sharon
man.
make that
Word
decision.
for word.
Yeah.
Sharon make that
The kids-
decision.
The kids Carnival.
Why take away that from the youth man?
Yeah. I ain't supporting that.
That
I mean, Ryan's supposed to be, because of his years of experience, one of the bigger ones in his space.
Yeah.
And so what he said there really showed his disconnect to the ground
Yeah.
and his honesty in his work.
Yeah.
And
Also,
it was a-
his friendism.
And as a disrespect to,
His
as a
friend is
disrespect to the artists,
Thank
both artists as well.
Yeah.
Friendism, yeah. I had to explain to somebody on the topic of everything that Ryan said that was trending yesterday.
Mhm.
That particular tweet
Mhm.
was the one I had issues with.
Yeah.
Everything else
Was
I
fine.
could give some points on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that particular tweet was dead wrong for that.
Yeah.
dead.
Dead
Because again, you cannot determine, Spring to say you cannot determine a classic. Nobody can summarize what a classic is because you need time as a factor to play into it.
That's right.
I'll draw a comparison. Palance had Trinidad and the solar word
Mm-hmm.
in a choke.
They say you song a bit muffled.
Maybe I should try.
Yeah, probably too.
I know that. I can't do. No, this is on Facebook. I was telling Facebook.
Yes.
Facebook. Right. If you're checking the stories, the link, the Facebook link is there. I handle all that already. Right. What I saying? Oh, comparison balance, right?
What is that saying there?
Unplug something.
No.
What should the phone is
The
it?
phone. The phone have a
Balance.
message on it.
Balance had us in a chokehold.
You can bring it forward.
However, Palance got to the point when we are not getting fed up at Palance. If you play Palance now for Trini, we go turn on and tell it turn
we
off.
just didn't get fed up.
We go say turn it off.
Yeah.
Now,
Is we up.
another point they're making was that DNA came out too early
Right.
and contract came out too late. Bullshit. From a business perspective, as an artist invested into the industry,
Right.
DNA came out right in time for Tobago Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
DNA has been with us since October,
Didn't even know that.
right?
Yeah,
So
out a long
the
time.
youth
Sounds much better.
his one song
Yeah.
invested into the 2 carnivals.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a good move. Especially if you want
Agreed.
to include Tobago in the conversations. I definitely think that's a good move because we absolutely need to include
Nice.
Tobago more.
Of course, of
Right?
course.
So let's say from October, November, December, January, February. That's 5 months. Irfan is one of those who keep preaching about
Why is that not good?
not having soca be a seasonal thing.
Yeah.
And soca having to last longer.
Mm-hmm.
Men like Ryan will jump up and talk that talk too because they exist. They need soca to function all year round.
Yeah.
If you remove carnivals, they can't get that far because I'm jumping from carnival to carnival to carnival as the hustle, right? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So then you should again give the youth his credit for having a song that could last on impact for 5 months.
5 months, yo.
On the kind of rotation it was at.
That is
Yep.
not an easy feat.
And we
That's
get
not easy
fed
at all.
I'll give you so that's the balance comparison.
Yeah.
The timeline that we really watch the time.
Yeah.
And then DNA carries the same chord progression as Savannah Grass,
Yeah.
which was what, 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So that's 4 years ago. So in other words, we know the song.
Mm-hmm.
We know the song 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And you still telling me,
Yeah.
right? Even when Kes did it, it's the same chords.
Yeah.
The melody itself was different, right?
Yeah.
And then the production was a lot more fuller,
Right.
I personally was not a big fan of Savannah Grass when it came out. It felt empty to me.
Mm-hmm.
So when DNA came out, and I hear Savannah Grass in it, but it felt like a more fulling
song, yeah.
of
Agreed.
what
Arrangement.
Savannah
Arrangements,
arrangement.
yeah.
That's
Agreed. The language of the pan.
So a song that we kind of knew
Yeah.
4 years before it even come,
Mm-hmm.
and still managed to survive all the way up till Ash Wednesday. People still want to hear the DNA.
Mm-hmm.
We were at the Marsh Grab.
Yeah.
Marshall win, big up P. DNA had the biggest crowd response
Yeah.
in the Savannah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even in
Yeah.
Fiesta. Yeah.
Yes.
Even in Fiesta. Even in Fiesta.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You're not going and find men like Ryan in them places.
No, definitely
You're not going and
not.
find men like Ryan in where them you
Neither he
them,
crowd.
where
Oh,
them
he
children
crowded,
is.
yeah.
You understand? You are not on the ground.
Yeah.
The soca and not the soca, the music, because Calypso included. The
Mhm.
music is a representation of the people.
People. Yeah.
The DJs represent the party.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot speak on what resonates to
With
the
the people.
People. Yeah.
You're not with us.
You're
Not
not
there.
with the people, sir.
You're not with us.
Calm down.
I understand your high horse is of a certain level in your industry.
Mm-hmm.
And again, stay in
In
your
Your
lane.
lane. That's right.
In your industry.
In your industry.
And
Stay your lane
no,
in
no,
your
I don't want
industry.
to say in the industry.
Yeah.
Because again, we need to go away from isolation
Right,
on
yeah,
the
silos,
industry.
yeah.
But know your place when you come into our next space.
Yeah.
And again, you're seeing the disconnect of those who have used the art forms
Mhm.
and the carnival for financial and personal gain only,
Mhm.
and not for what the festival represents
Mhm.
and is used for,
For,
the
yeah.
purpose of it.
Yeah.
There's a huge disconnect.
Yeah.
You can't tell them that. You know.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, because they
How dare you?
know nothing
They
about
know.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro.
They out here long.
Let me hear long.
Somebody
Yeah.
send me they posted on Facebook a picture from inside the Savannah Carnival Tuesday.
Mhm.
I was disappointed.
Empty.
Yeah.
Empty.
I mean, that's another.
Then I see that right after seeing Karen post. He already wrote it.
Yeah.
And he post,
The most important parts of the carnival is
Missing, which is the
is the
people.
Yeah.
And I keep saying this years. I say this to Mom, I want to know so she can back me up.
Mommy!
One of my
Auntie Mommy.
greatest childhood memory, if not my greatest childhood memory, is going in town Carnival Tuesday with my family.
Yeah, Memorial Park.
Early,
Yeah.
come over that hill. Again, we was talking just about packing up vehicle and things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's 4 we in the tray of a van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come over the stadium.
Yeah.
Come.
Excited.
Now, it's exciting.
I got anxiety.
Right?
Excuse me, what?
I'm telling you, tray.
It's a regular
Come over there. Spread your big sheets in Memorial Park.
Yeah.
Bring out a big pot of food.
Yeah.
Every year we might have carry a neighbor child too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah,
had
always
rock.
bring somebody who's new to
Somebody had a rock came in.
And sit down there and all the bands passing, you're trying to get middle on that tree so that all you choose a side. You either choose Charlotte side, with all of them coming up there, or you go across on Frederick side, close to the entrance of it, right?
Top corner.
And when you see everything, because why? At that time, it's not nothing like we can't pass here, we don't pass here, we don't feel safe, right? So everything,
Shot.
right?
Man said what he said.
Right?
20 minutes in.
Man said what he said.
Right?
Let the man speak.
When you do that day as a child, I am very, very sure
Yeah.
people going down there, their families, influence the whole generation of
Absolutely.
masqueraders
Yeah.
and mask makers,
Of
Yeah.
course.
designers.
Of course.
Because I mean, that thing so clear in my head doing that day, right? So 2014, me and Madupe decide, let me try and see what Carnival go do with based on our respective brands. You know, we're an experience and viable design, so we're going on the final Memorial Park look. Being the individuals is
You climb over the fence?
Nah, they don't stop. Mean stop.
That is you and that.
No, we don't do that shit. We don't do that. But it have a bus shed outside Napa.
Yeah.
We turn it into a store.
Oh, beautiful.
And based on how we was living even up to 2014, we talked to the people selling drinks right across the road. Say,
Yeah,
boy,
always
you know, we
happy
want to
with
be
it.
going up this Carnival Sunday. We want to be going up there. I live in El Dorado with a big cricket bag of clothes. We want to be toting that back and forth.
So you leave it
Leave
there
it
with
there.
the whole selling.
Leave it there, all the jewelry, everything, leave it there.
Beautiful.
Come down the road. This 2014, only 2 bands, Ronnie and Caro being
Yes.
one.
My God.
2 or 3 bands pass
Past there.
on that Frederick Street where we was in front of there.
Yeah.
Because that was the burgeoning of the soccer room.
Memorial Park was locked. Fast forward to the next year, 2015. We say, well, boy, we're going to try it again, you know, because what we ended up doing was if we got content. That's the year when the then Prime Minister, who they say like White Oak, brought in a contingent from Nigeria,
Yeah.
which to me was a beautiful idea to bring people from the continent. One of the few places, one of the few places that our style of carnival, and at least I've never seen it, seem to have influence now.
Yeah.
So they brought in a contingent of people from Nigeria. Them come by we. And well by we out. Right? Next year now we go on. And this 2015, we in 2024, 9 years later. 2015, one set of boots around the savannah, empty. Nobody did. So we do it our Taikan housing. We stole my boot.
Yeah. I heard it was $900 to get a space by the Memorial Park and you had no running water.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
This year, Carnival Sunday, 2024, so 2015, when we went down there, our set of boots empty, we stormed that boot. And that's where we was actually members, where we have we goods and thing and open up and thing for 3 years.
Yeah.
Because nobody did.
Ryan made one of the tweets he made mention of was at more or less the umbrella that covers those 2 points.
We
The
that's all right,
exclusivity, the separation, the cutting out of making ourselves so exclusive that
but that's where it almost there.
no,
It did.
it's there.
It's really right.
It did.
But I'd say also another example of gaslighting, because so how, right? That's one. 2, It is, unless you learn the lesson, history will continue to repeat itself.
Yep.
And the ignorance, if you want to control somebody, keep them ignorant.
Mhm.
Shout out to the government and the Ministry of Education.
Good.
Gang, gang.
So in the ignorance, a lot of people, and I'm not talking about children,
Yeah.
talking about adults,
Mm.
don't know why we have a carnival. That's why you could have Klong like Imran making the statements they made. They don't understand the root of why we do what we do.
We do.
We had to
Exactly.
talk about
And why
them
we
too.
call it the ritual.
Yeah.
And so Ida Kia, Idikeda continues to do through the Kamuli reenactments
Mhm.
and their workshops and just in general all the work that it is do
Mhm.
to teach the why
Mm.
and the roots and the core.
Right.
The governor's board was really the event that existed.
Mhm.
It was not for the
Ground.
ground, the enslaved,
Mhm.
let's call it what it is.
Mhm.
It was not for us, although we were the ones who gave them the wealth that they had to even have
The ball.
It was the governor's ball.
Mhm.
It was celebrated for the period of time that they celebrated. Again, from their towers, looking down,
Mhm.
while you still asking for your pay.
Mhm.
Shout out to all those who were in the morning.
Yeah.
If you take the history that we learn and apply it to the reality that we are living now, you realize it's the same story.
Mhm.
You realize it's the exact same story. So until we learn the lesson, it's going to repeat itself.
Mhm.
And we started doing that by allowing those bands when I was a child that all they was complaining about. You know what? Forget the carnival. No, forget the band, the mass, the Monday and Tuesday. As far back as when Kerwin Dubois they sing No Shade, talking about Club Coconuts, where there was always a division and that exclusivity and you don't belong.
And we have our space uptown.
Right? From even since then in the clubbing outside of the carnival season, into the carnival season,
Right.
really love how Wendell Man Warren spoke about the
Oh yes.
And he's
Oh,
been
yes.
singing about Europe, eh?
Yes, but now it was trending. That's why I'm saying it, right?
Because when how he name sing same Kerwin, we chipping on the pavement with farm and happy.
Chip.
Yeah.
And
Chip.
we said, no, let's chipping on the pavement in the road, try the rope thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because Europe was set to separate. We've been doing the separation. Which is what I'm saying is the gaslighting because the promoters, the band leaders, the whatever. And they were telling safety.
General
Because you continue to feed fear to the people so
exactly.
that you can emotionally manipulate them.
Yeah. But how one of your bands that wins band of the year every year does go where you don't want to go and come out safe? Nothing happened to them. You just go Piccadilly, nothing has happened. You just come down Shafford. Oh please.
The rope.
Please.
No, let me do this rush to talk as please, let me talk about that. You see that?
No, but also let's talk about the fact that we have to pretend that we hip.
Yes.
So we have to go in the hood.
Yeah.
Because we hip and we down with the community.
Yeah. It's like 51 on the night.
We're gonna be hip with you.
We were the gangsters.
We go there.
Yeah, we
And then we vex them, so we go up and laugh until.
Oh, Carvex, right?
That separation has been, as long as I'm alive, I know
I've
that
been told,
separation.
but
And it's been evolving. Until we reach where we is today. And remember, mass was you make your own costume and go to the road Monday and Tuesday for your own celebration. That was you.
That was your
it's
thing.
Scraps all through the year. You're collecting the scraps. You know what costume you're going and sing.
Because you're planning.
You're planning, yeah.
You're going in the library and research to see
Yes.
how they used to dress and so.
No, playing mass is you have to go and register with the band and sing in a costume, and then there's again the separation of where you're from. The sections
And send up
and then front line. Then you have the photographers who take in pictures of some type of people and not others.
Yeah.
There's been that separation and that
Last year,
for you to stand up on Twitter now and say that
I'm telling you, I didn't.
Yeah, we are choosing.
But last year, I had the opportunity, the man passed a little while after, of doing a mini interview at the Obatala Festival with Mr. Wiley.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
no, you see, pass a little.
Right? Baba Avery, you know Avery from Belmont, Africa, right? Was talking. And while he talking to me, Mr. Wiley came, he said, hey, bring in this man here, because I had on my camera recording Baba Avery.
Okay.
He said, this man's father, and started going to the history.
of that.
Right? And I said, all I thinking is, this man telling me, he now come back from London, where he do a whole set of shows, he just here for a little bit, and he go on again. But we don't know nothing about him in Trinidad. Now, I know him because I used to be around Belmont.
Yeah.
I didn't know that is the legacy that he was carrying.
Yeah.
And he was talking about that. He was talking about the whole interactive the mass was, and he said the flip side of it is people used to pay you, your costume look good, people give you money.
That's correct.
That's exactly
Even
what
the
it was.
sharing of you give your costume to like children so that they have something to think.
Yeah.
The start of the carnival, the start of the carnival season, the US put out notice to
Don't go there.
Don't go to Trinidad.
No,
And
but
then the
Trinidad,
narrative,
don't
we
go.
just allow people
To dictate we face here.
to narrate us.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, we echo what they say.
It's not safe, it's dangerous.
But tell me something,
And the
whatever
reason
that
why
is.
we didn't
It's
have so
mashed
many
it like
numbers
rain out there.
is because of the
But even
crowd.
before we go there, though,
Bullshit.
all I notice this, though, something I've been noticing since the early 2000s when they started issuing these, well, at least I
Alerts.
started to pay attention to these
But
alerts,
the
right?
others started to come after the Twin Tower thing.
They're saying that, right? But somehow or the other, I going wrong the bridge, or I going wrong Piccadilly, going wrong, driving wrong, and I seen tourists walking through.
Yeah.
Oh, they go. And
Of
they're always
course.
welcome and
Of
treated.
course.
And treated well.
So again, the reason why I bring up that is because all in all, say
Yeah.
we live in here, you know, and pushing and promoting that.
Perpetuating that ship.
But again, that's what I'm saying. History, to be doing the lesson, history is going to repeat itself
Yeah.
because that's exactly what they did. Them black people and them and their witchcraft, them
Yeah.
black people and them and the this,
Yeah.
them black people and them and the
The
that.
devil.
and
Yeah,
them
go on,
this,
yeah.
and whatever. It's
I
exactly
just been eating earlier because it has certain things I try to hold my tongue on because I have so many family and friends that just take it personally. Like
You can't.
you call it witchcraft and the African thing witchcraft, and that don't mean shit to me.
Mm-hmm.
But anything that is not Christian is evil.
Exactly, and the
That's right.
Christian people are the people that take the most offense. I say, yeah, but no Orisha person never went nowhere and
But they
start a
play
war and kill million
jingle
people.
drums and church.
And
Okay,
Come
yeah,
on, man.
Hey, you run out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Give us a ease up.
Right? I
And
look
then
at it.
protest for Israel. Wrong, so.
Yeah, boy.
That shit yesterday, I got so
Again,
mad.
so now you say is the whole thing, and the aspect I take it from after the Ahmad calm down. When you say that devil thing, you know, most little children, you
Yeah, not.
pulling away from
Themselves.
this aspect, because all they're free to say all this African, all this Trinidadian.
Yeah.
So they're pulling away a lot of children from this Trinidad aspect of the culture.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no.
What is that?
You're the second person I had to correct this in the last 24 hours.
What is that?
No. Yeah, that is not what's pulling away the children from themselves.
No, it's not the be all and end all.
No, it's not that at all.
Let me hear.
Again, it's trying to say it's not in the middle. The ignorance,
Mm-hmm.
the not knowing. If you want to control someone, keep them ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
I have been in a new school since September. And just this week again, I get it. Because I had school yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So as recent as yesterday, I telling you this. I asked the trend, so how was Carnival, what you do, what you see, rah, riri. A good majority of them say, Miss, we did nothing. Miss, I was on my tablet. school last day technically of school for them was the Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say they were home the Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Monday.
Carnival Monday, Carnival Tuesday, back
Ash
out
Wednesday.
maybe Ash Wednesday. That's 5 days. That's a week where your nation had a major festival
Mm-hmm.
and
And
you
you did
was in a
nothing.
screen
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you ain't even watching nothing on TV and go for kids carnival, no mess. You will get the occasional, because this is the correct answer that will allow me to not have a contribution in what Miss is asking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Miss, my family are Christians, so we don't
with
think
carnival.
We don't
carnival.
partake.
Well, you are also a Trinbagonian, and it is your culture, it is your nationality, it's part of your art form. You need to know.
Mm.
And then they realize, when you tell them that, they go, I am in the mind. You see it, you see the process in their face.
Yeah.
I am Trinidadian.
Exactly.
I am Trinbagonian,
Mm-hmm.
which means this is me.
Yes.
And then they realize they don't know. And those same children, because I pay attention to my class, to my students, they listen to the things you tell them after. So this term, leading into the carnival season, because again, I don't know the information that the children are getting.
Yeah.
I'm not the last day of school, one of the teachers, when I
Hey,
asked
Miss
them, what is going on the Thursday?
Miss Daly jump in.
Yeah, Miss Daly.
She said, I said, well, what let us do when all that carnival jump up and thing? She said, them tribal thing up and they had the calypso competition. I saw the sabbatists coming in and things. She said, yeah, sometimes I think they have a period coming and a period.
Suppose if you have a peregrine, don't do that.
Not a period. Not a period.
There's a
Understand
high species of
the
parrot.
root of ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
I use, and when we do feed children, we feed them fair.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this term, I deliberately use the midnight rubber at the start of the term.
Mm-hmm.
The reason the midnight rubber exists, our ancestors left it to teach us how to deal with fear.
Mm-hmm.
The character is afraid of nothing.
Yeah.
He's afraid of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When you explore and study fear, the best way to conquer fear is with information.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is just the emotion connected to ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back down again to ignorance.
Yeah.
Anything with a child, as long as you provide information to a child from the time they're toddlers asking 9 million questions and one not shut up. Till your throat patch because you keep answering and the child
you have to answer.
But they will want to know. The only way that not wanting to know comes in is if you nurture the child in a direction of and then you put them in the education system, which is not an environment for critical thinking or to question things, but you are to hush, sit down and do the work.
And regurgitate what
I tell you. Again, we see the roots of the ignorance. When I introduced to one of the classes, I didn't do all the afternoon at all. I cuss home and drink, I do all kind of things. You talking about the midnight rubber. Just introduce. We didn't even get into the thing yet, just talking. And I stand on one, you go on.
Nah, man.
Sorry. I just guess you're trying to strip in this.
So we are taking on. I'm not enabling that.
Yeah.
So our classmate then goes, and the children see me not acknowledging and saying, oh, and they confused, like, why must not say it? Because I said, I can't be that. I said, so and eventually when I realized it's distracted the children now, and they have now switched their focus to that. What is the matter, child? I'm scared. All I did was start talking about the midnight rubber not being afraid of anything. And he wears black, this big cape and this big hat, and describe the thing and whatever. Just from that, he's afraid. He's not afraid. That's learned behavior. The following week he was in a midnight rubber hat and a cape and some your keys, drop your keys and stuff, and call me the Prince of Darkness Carnival Master. You understand? Ask them. I jumped in the group one time because I couldn't process. This boy's crying. He's crying. What? I call him This is
what the parents and the school system continue to enable in this space.
Yeah.
Because they themselves don't know.
Yes.
And they refuse to go and seek
And
knowledge.
speaking, yeah.
From the time you give a child a little piece, just a little piece,
Yeah.
and
see
you
it with them all the
ignite
time.
something in them, they pursue.
Mm-hmm.
They would pursue.
Yes.
Another thing I did the week before Carnival week, they had calypso competition. I realized that in prelims, my technique was dog, right? Trash. So I used that week of teaching to teach my technique.
Right.
But everything that I'm trying to teach this term, I'm going to use a character and align it. So the character I used was the Calypsonian, David Mike. So we learn about pickup patterns, and if you do this, and I carry a mic speaker so that they can hear it, and then each one at a time, they sing it.
Try it.
But how they try it and how they work it out was I had them sing a calypso. Now I would admit the choice of calypso was random. It was random because that was stuck in my head at the point in time, right? It was after Skinner Park, Elon chorus in my head. That is too much bacchanal. And the way the chorus is structured, it's easy for children to learn and repeat. And it has a call and response setup.
Right.
So I do it. All right, so we learning the mic, so repeat after me. Die too much bacchanal. Die too much bacchanal. And I don't like that at all. And now we pretend we're Calypsonians. So they have a fair idea.
Right.
And then one at a time, all of them come up singing, die too much bacchanal. And then they had the classmates sing, and we do that back and forth. And then I play the song. So they went, oh, it's a song. It's an actual thing. Right. So in the verses, I want you to pretend like you know what he's talking about, but you performing. I don't know what's going on. They don't need to know that, right? Focus on what the is, right? The thing. All right, class, and go your way. Leave me alone. Right. This week, yesterday. So how was Carnival? Who in thing is one. And then the rest, of course, you watch on TV, right? Then I get, hey, miss, I hear the song. What song is that? Because I forget. You remember that? No, 2 weeks ago. Miss, the song is had a man who they sing the thing. And then I remember, oh, the exercise, the Elon song, right? And the parents turn and watching them. This is stories coming back at me and asking about, how do you know that? My theater teacher teach me that. You have the children know what's going on in the march that the very parents don't know. Once you get them
that's how sprinkle.
church will do the rest for you.
I see that with Genesis just this weekend here. So remember we used to play music. So I still have my keyboard.
Used to.
Yeah. I don't play music no more. But I have my keyboard still now. I see the keyboard laying up there. I say no, I never introduced this child to the music. Let me give my little thing. Open it, put it on, plug it in thing. I said, come and play some music because his sister ain't taking him on and his brother not home. Thing, he sit down with me. I put the keyboard in front of him and well, he's accustomed with my moms and them. Moms have an organ, but she's play organ for Trinity. So when he go, he just like to go and bang it up and so I say, all right. But the keyboard now have you could add instrumental and whatever.
Change the
Right. So I put on a little calypso kind of beat for him. If you see my boy, I will show you the video. I say, what? I said, that's Auntie Jean because I say, Auntie Jean, look at what's going on here. Listen, the child never do nothing when music is concerned. I said, nah, boy. So here she now, well, that will be a musical child, you know, because I just hear him singing calypso. He just be dancing word for word, and he's only 3. You understand? So what she's saying, they have real validation. And I keep telling people because I find people making the statement about Carnival dying and this dying and that dying right in the shop here. And we just have a real big bacchanal because he always in the middle, right? And I just keep telling them, I keep telling them, I said, dying where?
Carnival and dying.
It is not dying.
No, where you stand up the grass
It dead, exactly. Because when I sit down and I listen, people asking me, Karen, send something for me because my son have a project to do for Carnival on the Peregrine, one I want to do on the Dam Lorraine, who is Midnight Rubber. Then Genesis School had mass, so then the Sailor mass and thing. And I say, but how they could say this thing dying?
I thought this year was a beautiful abundance and reintroduction of traditional characters.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
On
I
several
agree.
levels with several demographics.
Yeah.
I don't know how many other schools, primary schools, you all got to see into what their presentation was.
Well, yeah.
But it was.
Yeah.
Well, I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning
Making costume.
making costume.
I make
It's a good thing my mother teach me to sew with my hand,
Yeah.
What she play?
So they chose to honor, well,
Chutney.
chutney,
Yeah.
so-called chutney.
Nice.
So you had to make East Indian outfit, right? All the ministry education, a project shouldn't cost me money. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
So, we do that. But I went and buy cloth,
And make saree.
cut cloth, make pants, make top. Whoa! When I go in school, all right. The next year I'll do the same thing. I'll buy. Everybody buy.
Yeah,
buy.
that but
But
I'm
I'll
not
say this,
supporting that.
No, exactly. I'll say this. And again, back to the root of who we are.
Yeah.
Everything that we have as our art forms
Yeah.
was innovation from necessity.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have.
Yes.
We didn't have the luxury of going and purchasing something.
They didn't have samaroos.
On Amazon.
And even if it did have
Samaroos.
samaroos,
Yeah, let's
We wasn't being here. We wasn't making money together. We
no,
was buying parts.
you're buying it piece.
Yes, and
put
So
together.
this month you have a little money,
Yeah.
you buy some of this, right, you put it down. It was the buy and put down.
Yeah, yeah, buy
some
But it
food.
also limits creativity.
Yes.
Because you have to think
To
about
sit down and watch a bottle cover and say,
yeah, that
can make a thing, you know.
So it's ingenuity, it's
Mhm.
innovation, it's all of these things. It's recycling.
Mm.
I mean, I used to play mass this year. All right,
Mm.
cool. And they don't know they're playing next year while they're on the road Tuesday.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't get twisted. So
Correct.
they know when they reach home, they're taking off this piece and starting from
You
here.
could see
They're
this.
putting it in
Yeah.
a thing, they're
Mhm.
putting this, they're
Yeah.
putting stone,
Yeah.
they're going to
Mhm.
reshape this wire.
Mhm.
Big up Sito, bless you, ancestors. So boom, and then they're taking this and they're putting this aside and don't
Mhm.
touch this. Because if they touch this, it's back and that's
Yeah.
the problem. And if you're making a mask for somebody else, you have to take it
Yeah.
from this, where this here to put into the costume
Them,
for
yeah.
next year. And then,
And then there was the bartering because who the tailors were
Correct.
need
Yeah.
something from who you who
Correct.
does
and
do
this
this.
and if you're bringing out a pan, you're bringing out a section, you're doing
Mhm.
that thing. You all have to bring your glue, bring your
Mhm.
nail and thread, bring
Mhm.
your machine. And
Other
all
skill
of
sets.
us
Come together.
Come
Crochet, macrame,
Batik.
batik.
everything,
Yeah.
brass work.
Mm-hmm.
I want to add this, right?
Brass, yeah.
And
Because
cooking
Mhm.
to get texture
And
like
this thing you
this.
figure.
Yeah.
To
Correct.
put up to make
Just plain
for
and
the
thing, yeah.
main Rome next year. So all the centuries had to have a brass breastplate
Yeah.
and a feather bloom coming out. So
Yeah.
And
Correct.
I saw the reflection of that in Kings and Queens prelims.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tyke,
yeah.
that's the first thing Tyke made mention of when we
Mhm.
reached down the savannah. We had no intentions of going, we end up there.
Mm.
The wind blow we did, right? Tyke, first thing was look at the size of the costume.
The king.
Mm-hmm.
It was a
Smaller.
reflection that
Yeah, the smaller.
the economic situation of the country was
Mhm.
clear.
Mm-hmm.
I said, sure, I'll accept your size,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still the same pieces over.
Yeah.
The same skirts, the
Mhm.
same big flag, they
Mhm.
just change it, whatever. And again, it's all pieces, exactly as she's saying that they went
Come
in
back.
Amazon or
Mhm.
Feather Nation or whatever the name of the places or Samaroos or
Mhm.
whatever, that they piece together.
Mhm.
But overall, I mean, I think people's feedback of the mass this year wasn't really a good one either. People were very disappointed.
Yeah.
But the costumes.
Yeah.
And if art doesn't evoke emotion,
Yeah.
it's not
So
art.
there's also not going to tell you, right? The presentation that them children had in our school.
Was excellent.
Wow.
Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
class do midnight rubber.
Yeah.
Nice.
I am telling you, they could have gone the road and win a prize,
Agreed.
Normal.
right?
Wouldn't
They
be
do
surprised.
same thing.
That is one of the things that I have an issue with these schools because a lot of them not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I telling all you. You went success with me. You see, Carnival time,
Yeah, we had to make things.
we
man.
project is to draw the costume first,
Yeah.
right?
And then you
And then you present that.
and then make
And
it
if you
family.
really like what you do, that shit come into life, eh?
Yeah, you had to
And then you
make
have to stay in your room and build that
You
because
don't
that's
make
going
that
on the
shit.
road.
Yeah.
And success used to be winning banner the
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
winning banner the year, king and queen. We going out there and we mashing up the place.
But now your parents who just do the homework for each other.
I'm not doing that.
How you not-
I'm
how
not
you
doing
expect
that.
them
I'm not
to-
doing that. I don't care what you tell me.
University school,
Mm-hmm.
the UE,
Prep.
right?
Mm.
You know what was their jump up team?
What?
Bands gone and band leaders of the past,
So I have to go and research.
which tells me that the teacher would have had, and I get that you can't, you can't teach the same way because the children learning different.
Yes.
Right. The attention span is a lot smaller. Blah blah blah. Big up technology and the pandemic, right?
Very fun.
But it tells me that the teacher would have had a conversation about, so this year this happened, and this was the designer, the band leader, and he created at this. It tells me a conversation was had, and then we decide beyond that. Okay, how are we going to present that for our jump up in school?
Right.
Yeah.
And another thing that they did, which I thought is, well, they do it all every year. Their jump up is they come out in the corridors first. I don't know how many people are familiar with the school there. So they come out in the corridors first, and then they introduce each class and what they represent. And so you're getting, in other words, you get to the section, right? And then they all come out in the schoolyard, the courtyard, but they hire a big truck. Right? And the parents has come out and think too is getting, and this is after the calypso competition, the limbo competition, the lip sync competition, and different schools, you have to know your school, you have to know your students, you have to know your culture, right? So it's not that they had to try and write calypsos. That environment, it wouldn't work in that. Instead, they had to sing what already exists.
Right.
So now you have children engaging with the work that's happening now. Beautiful. And those who can't sing still have an opportunity, because after that competition is the lip sync competition. Right? So they can do a stage performance. And it was a presentation. The girl who won the lip sync, she said DNA. Right? Actually, that category had about 8 finalists,
right,
and only 2 songs were chosen. DNA and Home from Nyla, Skinny Last. Yeah.
Okay. Which is a cute song.
That's they love the Nyla.
That
she speaks in air frequency.
Yeah, she does.
The air in.
She does, yeah.
And the girl come out with a bed. She mother and she sister, whoever is this big person, lie down on top of the bed, covered down in a sheet. And we're hospital thing with a bag of drips. Real thing.
Reenactment.
Presentation. To lip sync DNA.
Papa laughs.
And then the big truck. So that is after that. Then a limbo competition.
Right.
You know them trying to really think. They don't know the depths of the history, but this is the opportunity to
You're wetting the beak. You're wetting the beak.
Every time you're coming, so like the last year, because I invited me to host. So last year when I did it, I told them, "Hey, Baba, Lembo, Baba, Lembo." So I get Baba, Lembo, Lembo. This year when I come and I look at the thing, them start telling me, "You ain't do it thing." Oh, God, sorry. There's one people who that So after that competition is when they had the jump up, big truck, and they make the block with police, with the security, which is easy to call police because they're school. And they make the block, the jump up.
That is it.
They get the experience, because a lot of children are not going to get the experience from home. You're not going to take them and carry them out.
No way.
Paulus Dukes did something similar, which is the 3 Anglican primary schools on Duke Street.
St. Catherine's, Richmond Street.
Christus Rex and Trinity Junior. Then went on the Park Street by the judging point for the band. So each school had a different character. Trinity had clowns, Christus Rex had sailors, and the girls' school had pharaohs.
Peregrine.
Or was it the other way around?
St. Catherine's,
yeah. Somebody had something, had something, right? And then they just, all the different sections have the different standards, and they jump up on the road, and then they went back in school and had jump up.
Normal.
And they made their costumes with their parents and their teachers.
That's why I'm saying, I
just stay with you.
It does.
Yeah.
I remember my primary school, I went to Trinity. So I remember it's 43. this year I could tell you exactly what I do and when I do it in primary school because that shit sticking
I
with me.
remember playing when Kitchener died. We played my kids play all his songs.
Yeah.
Different standards was different songs.
Nice.
Yeah.
And my class was Miss Tourist.
You see?
So all that we had Hawaiian shirts.
You see?
I don't think because
Yes, and that's saying when you river.
Come down here when you river.
You see elephant brains.
Yeah.
And that was a beautiful experience. Though after was anything in school.
Daddy, remember that?
Oh, I remember Jack.
so Sean, she play mass in preschool.
Mm-hmm.
And mad at me to say, you know,
She didn't get to play.
she didn't get to play. I tell she, I say, here is the scene. Next year,
We will play.
you play in mass. Because she, then they do what you say the school is doing, and preschool they did that. And so that is to get a costume.
Mm-hmm.
And then the car come with a little knock,
Mm-hmm.
and they get to go around the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of the landing, they have a jump up.
And then it connects to when they have to sit and watch it on television.
Television, yeah.
The big
I do that
people.
already. Yeah, I do that already.
Yeah.
That's what they will say.
Yeah.
The reason why I have this obsession, I'm gonna call it that, with pan and panorama,
Mm-hmm.
particularly is because I saw that video, you can find it on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
of Fonclair playing Pan by Storm the year I was born in 1990.
Big tune. Big up Professor, rest in
Forget, let me
peace.
step aside from the tune for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause I'm not a huge tune, right?
Yeah.
That made me cry the first time I heard it. But watch the video,
Mm-hmm.
watch the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
even how we allowed, we were inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
If the band here on
Mhm.
stage, I understand it's a management thing, it's a safety thing or whatever. But if the band here, the crowd was right up on that
On the
line.
crowd, yeah, yeah, yeah.
You could smell the stink of the basement.
Yes.
First you're close.
Yes.
You
yes.
understand?
Correct.
Now you have the SWAT team that'll sweep you down.
Yeah.
And I totally understand
Mhm.
management of the event.
Yes.
And then have a big screen at the bottom for the supporters to watch it from
Outside.
there.
Yeah.
So you contain, you separate the
Yeah.
people from the frequency, and then
Yeah.
you contain them to a screen. There's a disconnect.
Yeah.
There's a disconnect. You don't get the resonance the same way.
Yeah.
And I really had this season, and I did make mention of it at the start of Panorama.
Mm-hmm.
A little petty. That was a little petty, and I ain't gonna lie. The social media audience need to rest their front and know the flecking
Please. Yeah.
You are
I
not
see that.
the first audience.
Yeah.
If you want the kind of comments I hear from people
Yeah.
about the different competitions, versus if you were there
Mm-hmm.
and you know what was happening live and you were actually experiencing and feeling the energy.
Yeah.
Because it's an
Completely different,
energy
yeah.
thing. You sit down watching on a friggin' screen.
Mm-hmm.
You can't feel no energy and there's not a judge.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have no sort of information to provide to nobody to say, no way you're talking about. You're running strictly off of opinion. Know your place.
Place. Yeah. Know your place.
And then the next thing is, if you're so, why the band doing this and why did this? Push your ass, get off the couch and come down in the panyard.
Come.
Go down in the
Correct.
savannah,
Correct.
go down in the mass camp, go
Correct.
down in the thing.
Correct.
There's a level of laziness now with us.
Mm-hmm.
And then your excuse is, oh, the crime. I'm still waiting to see the
Please.
crime in the carnival season that they were
Please.
speaking about.
Please, only bullshitting people
Matter
with
of fact,
that.
after Wednesdays when bodies start to drop out.
Exactly. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I play with
Yeah.
two bands that pass. So you know everything is you come up South Key and up Charlotte and like that. But I run out with Weemass.
Yeah.
Weemass come across South Key, we going up Charlotte. So when we reach Independence, I thinking we going up. Why see them make the banner say, there we go. We going around Piccadilly.
Yeah.
And the people in Piccadilly, them just cool.
Beautiful.
You pass by what was the name of that lodge thing on the hill there?
Yeah.
Bad man and them stand up on top so.
Watch it
Watch
down.
mass.
Them watch out now.
Yeah.
Them not on that. You come across Park now and you're going up by Shafford.
Yeah.
Bad man and them stand up smoking the weed in
Yeah.
between the buildings and them just watching.
Yeah.
Saying they might suit a girl, whatever.
Yeah.
What all you talking about?
Yeah. Because the mass belongs, the carnival belongs to the people.
Thank you very much. And I want to say this before we go any further. Because we now reach, we on the hour. Because we go forget. Right? And I want to let go some boy on this man, this child man, because Big man, you want to separate the mass from the people, take your thing and go in the West who all you want to be.
Yeah.
All you don't want to be among we, go so.
Don't
All you don't want to don't bring us so.
When we say
Stay on
no. When we say no.
Shagaramas, yeah.
Don't
Don't
go.
go water. Go by the sea.
No for sure, no nothing, no
Yeah.
stadium, no nothing.
Yeah. Come out
So
and
look
down.
sharp. We could probably turn all of this into a way out.
Yeah.
So that people could.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Stretch it.
I like that.
Yeah.
If you're going to do exclusivity, then coordination.
Cut it
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
Because Brazil does that, eh?
Yeah.
You don't want to compare to
That's
Brazil
right.
Carnival, but Brazil does that, eh?
Yeah.
Because Brazil Carnival is not as all-inclusive as
As we
ours.
think, yeah.
It's not everybody. It's not an audition to be
In there.
on their road.
That's in real. Remember,
And
Brazil have
That's I'm not
things
aware of that.
happening
At the same time. Right.
Yeah, but
So
to
get in
bring
your section.
to bring me
The only one we doesn't know is Rio.
Yeah.
But the people,
Yeah.
the ground,
Yeah. Them ain't going there.
their carnival different.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that girl get blasted up yesterday on Twitter for talking that nonsense, you know.
Mhm.
And come back, she was saying how they talk about Trinidad Carnival being the Mecca, British and blah blah blah, as though Brazil Carnival do exist.
What doing?
And she's talking about
Who up the
Real
road?
Carnival.
and the floats.
The float carnival.
Go up the road to that
Miss
shit.
Lady, you don't know what you're talking about. Hush your mouth. So what we say is they need to play the Martin St.
Yeah, so
Don't show.
Stay down there.
No, I honestly, I thinking. Yes, I said that. That's what I thinking. I thinking
And
down
in
there,
America, that's what we have down there. That's
Yeah.
right?
America said yes.
Yeah.
Go down there.
Go up, Mac. People, they come back down, go down, mob.
Yes,
Come back down.
yes,
We
Let's
were
go, let's
talking.
go.
We were talking with the elders and them the day last week. You take the carnival, you make it into what it is for the $1 million thing that it is fair enough, etc. Nobody
Yeah.
always seen, right? I is NCC.
Yeah. And I telling you.
If that's okay, drum can work. Or are we to extend the route and to make sure it's not clogging the road longer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it going down today. And it has judging points going down today.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that and you find so, we gives no license for it. Nothing at all.
Yeah.
No music license, no drink like no nothing.
Yeah.
But that is with the thought that they're not like a party.
Of course.
Yes.
Thank you.
And that they don't have the
Hands are not
people
being
on
greased.
They come in to talk to you. So, oh, that's what
on the roads and so forth. And then they're getting kicked back.
I'm telling
That
you.
is it. who have gone
Yeah.
and gone.
Balls, yes. These people have no balls.
I
They have
don't
balls
think
in their mouth.
I don't think it's just the
Fact.
desire to stop pricking them. I think it's also the extension of exclusivity.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like
like
you're
it better
part
than
of
somebody.
So I want to say this, please.
group.
Please. And then I want you to rephrase it with all the and so and
You want to English it out.
Yeah. Because like my tongue too heavy to pronounce it. Right. There is a mindset that is prevalent in Trinidad and Tobago
Yeah.
amongst black people,
Yeah.
African people.
Like the restaurant.
No, we have to rap with self.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody come on the TV to tell me I'm a cockroach and nothing. I want to talk about we self. The exclusivity I talk about is because we still have that mindset that we want to be in Master thing to show Master that
We could be
We
anything.
are
We could be this.
I'll
Right?
put it in this way. There are a section of us who are black, who are melanated people, who appreciate and who love the proximity of whiteness.
Yes.
Thank you, right?
Whiteness.
Whiteness.
Say that again, say that again.
Proximity.
There's a group of us,
There's
say
a
that again.
group of us melanated folks.
Right, African people.
Yes. No, she said melanated.
Melanated.
Because the further you go past the lighthouse, heading south,
Yeah.
go south you
It's not
go.
just African.
It's not just African people. She's correct. Melanated
Remember the
people.
band Poison?
Yeah.
Right. They are a group of melanated folks
Mhm.
who love, appreciate, and acknowledge that they need a proximity to whiteness for
Mhm.
them to be a
Value.
value.
It's yourself.
The
Hence
value.
why they have all these committees
Yes.
with 1 million people on it.
Yes.
And I have to invite 50, and you have to invite 50.
Mhm.
But we want to make sure that your hue
Yes.
is saying
Not too
something.
dark.
Or you get a tan. When you get the sun hits you, do you get
You
a
get
darker
darker?
brown? Or do you turn red? Do you turn red? What's going on? What's happening? Right? You could, and this is not just for but this is the facts
Yeah.
in the year, the events, the parties, the soirees,
The soirees,
and so forth.
yes.
Yes.
There is a yearning for the proximity
Right.
of whiteness.
And
So the more I'm in your circles and we could rub shoulders,
Yeah.
then it means I'm cool.
And
I'm
again,
hip.
that
Reach.
is a product of ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
You deny a person themselves.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We back again.
Yeah.
oh God, look how my jump in.
Oh
Dangerous.
God, Ashby.
She
Ashby?
say the Afro-Saxons.
Yo, God!
Right? There are some comments to read here too, you know. Right? But I want
Yes,
I
well
want
said,
also
well said,
we have
well
to
said.
go in a little more now because for me, that is also enabling what some of the so-called big bands and them doing.
Yeah.
Because then you'd hear people saying, yeah, but that is it, so what you gonna do? And then they use the safety and I want to go back to that. I see that rope, the rope making it safe. You go back to that.
Yeah.
A rope.
No, but
It's an adamantinium or vibranium on
You
it.
should have used Europe for the pandemic.
What do you mean? We'd have been alright.
But I want to say, you give them enough room, they will
Hang themselves.
Yeah.
But that was going on right now.
Yes.
hang themselves.
That's going on right now.
Yes.
Oh, long rope for Magna.
Long road from Magna. So Roxanne Hubert was talking when he was talking about the making your own costume. She was saying Trinidad is the biggest recycling country, starting with the steel pan. Great point,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Mom, so
Did
mommy
you know
say.
we ranked third as
The most polluted place which produces
In
the
the
most
world.
plastic in the world.
But
Are
it's not.
you
But it's
serious?
not a produced thing.
It's
This is
what
a
we
sidetrack.
Okay.
America and Canada need to
send
send
their
their
garbage.
garbage
This
to.
week.
Anyway, that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Just send anything on Instagram.
Comments. Hey, Shannon is on the inside. Madam Director, Wagwana.
My mother was talking about how Professor Fillmore and her pastor was good and he used to come to the church and show them pan and that kind of thing. And she pastor just get a little kickback because he want to push that.
Yeah, he believe in
aspect of the
culture. He's one of the pastors
This
that's
year,
changing.
as we recapping this season, this year there was a separate competition in
So
song.
my that blinking there. Just press it.
No?
What they had, man? Say what they had, many comments.
Same thing, but get red and green.
Get back to South.
Come on,
This year, South, and I stand to be corrected by anybody. They held their own competition, pan competition.
Tobago, I had the Professor Ken Fillmore Memorial South. Was it a panorama?
Yes.
Oh, it was a panorama.
Okay,
Yes.
I need to
And it was named after,
Okay.
yeah, Ken Professor Fillmore.
Who won it, boy? Let me tell you.
Right.
I can't remember. Yeah, double check.
She had to come down from there. We were talking about Shannon, let you go back a little bit. Tatiana said, nah, I don't give them that option because Carnival is a national festival and if you have to go to get a permit to hit the streets, then it should be mandatory to go to the judging points because that's
It
national.
should be tied.
No, but this is the thing.
God,
This
yeah,
is
forward
the
the tide word,
this
that's trauma.
is the thing. They decided that they were not going to go to the judging points because they're not competing.
Hitting, exactly.
They are party bands, so
Yes.
they're not going to go to the judging points
Yes.
to free up the space for the competing bands.
Right.
That's the statement that was made in whenever they decided to do their drone business.
Mm-hmm.
So that argument, I don't think
Me not
would
accepting that.
stand.
No,
Because
but
then
it's
because
still-
then the masqueraders tell them, yeah, we're going on big man. You see that half a stage thing down there, we not in that, eh?
No, but they
And we ain't crossing that alone. We
Like I'm
want
saying,
pub.
it is enabled and it's easy to
Yeah.
enable
That's what I
because
said.
the emotion manipulation happens since we were younger.
Yeah.
Goes
You
back
want
to what you
feel as though
say,
you're better than.
how you so eloquently put it
Yeah.
about their
The melanated.
proximity that
Proximity,
they want to be.
Yeah.
Because I mean, imagine that we in Trinidad and Tobago is 2024.
Yeah.
The ignorance that Joel speaks about is so clear. Ash Wednesday or even Carnival Friday when you hear who you're playing with or who you did play with. I played Child.
Yeah.
As,
And all the man and the money and all up
as
there.
in a kind of way
To
that
show how many events you've been
Yes.
to.
Yes. right, like it's such a big thing for us.
Yeah.
I played Child.
Yeah.
Because I tell them, I say again, it goes back to Dr. Amos Wilson. Just to say we're the only people on the planet that in order to prove that we're free and we could do what we want,
Yeah.
we enrich other people.
Yep.
But
Because
one
I
of the
had
things.
no problem jumping up with
Who?
the band.
Oh, sorry, ring?
Yeah.
Have a time?
How about that?
Yeah. But $1,000 yeah.
Yeah, he's doing
He reached 1,000 and it was cheaper.
I know, but I didn't know he had it again.
Yeah, you
know,
wanna know.
and I
He had
listened to them,
customs and stuff.
right? And I listened to the way people talk about it, like,
Yeah.
Well, you want to pay 7,000 for a handband
Yeah.
and leave me alone.
Leave me, yeah.
And then also, again, ignorance, you don't know the comparisons elsewhere.
Oh God.
That point Ryan made about us outpricing ourselves,
Mhm.
it's very much true. Like, and I've been having the conversation for the last 2 years that soon Trinidad will outprice itself to the point where people can't come here.
Of course.
And then the middle of last year, it started to hear foreigners here.
They're not
Now,
coming.
I say this. A lot of the promoters, producers, managers of very specific industries, like the party fest industries and the soca industries, blah blah, because they both work together.
Right.
These are the things people have been saying for years. It's not new. I know personally of telling some and hearing that some are being told by other people and they dismiss it. But from the moment an American says it,
yeah. Oh, it's embraced.
no,
Yeah,
you should pay attention.
Yes, correct.
Which comes back to that Tiger statement of our desire to always be a proxy close to anything white.
Yeah.
And not even, it's not white Americans. For white Americans, hard time will we?
I'm not talking
but even black Americans is a closeness to.
So
understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, or England and Canada.
So the Thursday, the 8th of February, was the Ken Professor Fillmore South Central Pan Champs. It was in Skinner Park, and the ticket was $200.
This is the first one,
First time I hear
This was the first time it happened.
Okay.
So it was one of Pan Trinbago's events.
Nice.
Yes. So hopefully they have it again next year. I don't know who they have.
On that same thing, I think they more than likely would. I don't want us to use the second hour to keep the tongue spitting blood. You have to learn that. You have to talk about the tongue have to spit honey at some point.
Yes, of course.
Pan Trinbago's president, Beverly Ramsey Moore, maybe a lot of things. But when it's time to give Jack the jacket, give Jack the jacket. When the ass was in position for how much of a year? There are a lot of things that's in exclusivity and gatekeeping and locking it in. Because it's dealing with literate men who were given titles and authorities and don't see anybody else. Right? No, to find out talking about you just yet.
Hold on.
Sure.
Put on your hand.
Right? Since Beverly Ramsey Moore and her executive have been in power as the governing body for PAN, we have seen an inclusivity for Tobago bands.
Yes.
Not just the bands, but also sharing more the events that happen in Trinidad in Tobago. And if it took a Tobagonian to have to come over here and do that, I think that works better than Tobago trying to do their own thing.
Yes.
Right? Because she is a Tobagonian. And then you see, beyond that, we've always had the conversation of South being excluded from the panorama.
We went South once for medium, not so?
Yeah, I believe so. And it was a trial thing. Whatever. And they go tell you it's too expensive, but they go spend money on the greens and all kind of fuckeries. Anyhow, which still, I remember when Beverly and them was campaigning, they spoke against the greens.
Yes.
On the greens. Anyhow. But now you're seeing inclusivity not just of Tobago, but of South. And now South bands, this move here, and the calling it the Ken Professor, giving it that
big move,
beautiful move.
Big move. I want to get Shishi Pups.
Fusion Steel wanted to free up. That's
jump up, Tambu.
Yeah,
free up.
So Fusion Steel, Tropical Angel have to DNA. Funplay coming in third with this party, is it?
Nice.
Pan Elders, I come out to play.
You whining like you're afraid to touch me.
Soca Tati, Panasonic Connection, Raga, Heritage Petroleum Supplier, Deltones, Not Even, Tornadoes, Engine Room, Heritage Petroleum Skiffle, Inventor, and you see Labyrinth Nightingales not leaving, Cadenza playing Engine Room, Palomo Kings playing Nobody Go Run Me, and Olsec playing Spring Garden on
South have
Fire.
real bands in them.
And then they also had Single Pan
Aye.
and New Age Trendsetters band from Space One. Laramie and Super Vibes playing Panama coming second, and then Jarroots playing Congo coming third.
Nicely.
South also has to get credit. If you're talking Pan, you're talking specifically Pan, all right? South have to get credit for, yes, South do have a lot of bands and a lot of young people in the band.
Yeah.
And
Arrangers.
I had the opportunity of, oh no, we have real arrangers in this country. They just don't have enough opportunities for the amount of arrangers.
Yeah.
Right.
I should say the opportunity. I pushed myself in. I put my drop with Pan Tobago just to tag along because I wanted to hear all the under 21 bands for Junior Panorama. So from prelims, right? And you know, divided by the regions, and so I did the South run as well. I'd say this: the tongue bands are losing proper technique. Proper technique is important to steel pan playing because it is part of what influences that sweet sound that we like from pan.
Right.
Remember, the instrument is created from ponging.
Yeah.
We hammer, we pong it into the barrels, we pong the notes into the barrels, and so forth.
Yeah.
So I think enough common sense should let you know that that same ponging from there's a line between playing
and ponging. I agree.
Right? South bands.
Yeah.
The technique of the players in South are far better than the technique of the players in town and in, well, East-West corridor. Right? Far better. The technique is better. You're seeing where they are giving more opportunities to the young people. And I mean, I'm seeing this from an audience point of view. I see adults in the space as well too, in more the capacity of letting them do, and you just guide. I ain't in the business enough to know that's really what it is, because I know. But from what I did observe, because like we said, we use the season to observe, right? South, you are doing an excellent job for the pan fraternity, and I think after this particular season, juniors into large, you absolutely need to be commended for that.
South Central region.
Yeah.
They say something happened with this lady microphone.
Still?
Or something, you know, and I just get over.
I was going to say something.
Because they said it clear just now. It was good.
You let us know, make sure that we sung it all right.
Yeah.
One of the issues I had on having with the pan is because remember it's clipping 15 years of my life I give to that. And it is an issue I had then, and it's still an issue I have now. Where, oh God, we ain't shipping, we watch anything on TV. So if I see you with Renegades, and I see you with All Stars, and then I see you with this, no, it's you. I rather guess anymore.
The hustling,
right?
Do you like pan hustling?
No, I don't. I'll tell you why. Because when I was a section leader, I banned that from Invaders, Simply because you can't tell me that your brain is not a hard drive you rocking with, brother. You can just press play and just rock, and you gain me. Because when I start to corner them bastards and them and tell them, run my tuner, it's mistake here, mistake there, don't do that. Because that contributes to my demise.
And the execution of the
overall band. So if I had 10 hours in my band, one in guitar, one in seconds, one in mid-range, one in bass, one in thing, one in the drummer. Right? Because some of them drummers bouncing banter, and you can't tell me, big man, that you're gonna remember every drop, every diminuendo, every crescendo. You're not. So I have a problem with that. If you say you play with one in each category, I could love with that. Because what they are also doing is stifling the other ones who standing there like, I could play too, you know. I know the band, I know the song. And I experienced that in Exodus when, well, I'm not of the female ilk. So when finals came around, I couldn't play.
Run that by Margaret?
I'm not of a female ilk.
Yes, no.
And the sexual nature is a man.
Represent.
What's she talking about? I couldn't play.
Because
I'm a man. I have nothing to give.
The leader is a man.
Yes, so, right?
Using his authority and his power. So only
Right.
have women in his section.
Yes, you know what I'm saying?
Because he could get some.
Yes. So I'm saying, I can't give you. You dig? I'm not giving you, I should say. Not I can't.
I don't have to get
No, I'm not doing it.
front, back, off there.
No,
On top.
on top, none of the above. Right? And whole carnival like day, every night. Like them days, Pat Bishop was the drill master. So
you
when,
got to work with that.
of course, so when
You
she
got
says
to
sex,
judge.
don't play
Yeah, she don't
5
play.
pass and you're walking in, you know.
Yeah.
I'm excuse where you going, sir? No, the practice already starts, so you'll have a seat, and when we finish, you'll jump in. But tomorrow, don't be late, because if you miss tomorrow, you'll not be playing with the
Did you
band.
know that All
She
Stars
was dressed.
this year implemented penalties for their players who were doing that?
I love it. I love it.
But then that also means you have to pay me for exclusivity.
Oh, I have no issue with that.
Have a conversation.
I have no issue with that.
You have to, if you want me to only play with you,
I have no issue with
you
that.
have to pay me equitably.
Correct. So the
And
state
because
side members.
That's why.
I'm gonna say this.
Mhm.
Let's talk the figures.
Mhm.
The Rangers has get upwards of $50,000 for a season.
All right.
Drummers upwards of
10.
Mm-mm.
When
Upwards
you
of
was
10.
there.
Upwards of 10.
When was it?
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh no! Wow. It's more. Jump in, man.
Sorry if anybody have a drama man and he tell you he gets
Yeah.
The players are still playing for 500.
Yes.
Oh,
That is garbage.
That's a favorite number. We've been peacocking that number. Jammettes holding that thing
number.
because same thing for backup dancers and presentation talent.
Right.
Still being paid $500.
Okay.
I remember when I was on stage doing backup dancing for Soca Monarch and
Yeah.
thing, that was $500.
Yeah.
That was when we were still out on the plastic. Right now, my check me rice come on and you still pay people $500. Come on.
You know that's why I stopped playing band.
It was also
All
my reason.
they can leave
Because
me, make
when
me
you
leave my
check the
place.
time, I did this in our pan. I checked the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then I finished 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
I still
checked
don't
the time
know
and I
why.
said, but this is an 8 to 9 hour time I spend in this yard.
Yes.
$500.
Every night,
Not
every night.
leading up to Panorama.
That's right.
Prelims, they pay for prelims, they might get the 5. If they get in semis, they might go by a 6 or 7 or something. And by finals.
Yeah, you might get a little thing. 100 extra. Never 1,000.
Never we reaching there.
No bands, ain't reaching no
4
bands.
digits, come on.
But we have sponsors.
For what?
Anyways,
Sponsor night?
and so when you check it, I said, but this is a work day. This is the
Mhm.
equivalent of time in school. This is the equivalent of a work day.
Mm-hmm.
500, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's enough.
Yeah.
Hence the word of hustlers,
Yeah.
right? And then,
And I still don't understand why we
Mr.
need to
Murray?
practice till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
we get to that.
Go ahead.
Because there is a cultural thing in that too. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know, right? Mr. Murray is one of those, Jessel Murray,
Mm-hmm.
is one of those who's very particular with time. So when he was the musical director of NSSO, right,
Mhm.
with National Steel Symphony Orchestra,
Mm-hmm.
Symphony Steel Orchestra,
I feel like she earring the hand.
Oh.
I feel it's the earring. Because the mic's kind of sensitive. The clicking that they're talking about now. Yeah.
you see on the Trinidad Tobago, big so they really love you, I'm just put you down.
Yes, you're not going anywhere.
Right?
You're still with us.
Right? What the other thing? Oh, Jessel Murray, when he was the musical director of NSSO. So
Mhm.
technically, NSSO has a work day.
Right.
Just like everybody has 8 to 4 kind of vibes, right? I really don't work well.
Yeah, right.
8 to 4, right?
Selling out yourself.
No, is that okay? Mr. Murray would always say, it's what you do with the time that is important.
I
So
agree.
for him, he ran the band 8 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
From 12 to 4, as the player, you could use the time
To
to
stay back
work
and
do
practice, yeah.
whatever is you that is your
thing, yeah.
to figure it out.
Yeah.
You're in work time though, eh?
Yeah.
But what I need you for is 8 to 12.
Yeah.
And if anybody ever had the opportunity of working under Jessel Murray,
Mm-hmm.
a 1 hour
Practice.
rehearsal practice, whether it's band, whether it's choral, whether it's a class,
Mm-hmm.
it's intense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot happening in that time.
That was part 2.
It's a lot happening in that time.
So you don't need to go for 6 hours.
Exactly.
For 6 hours.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what are you doing?
So
I was
that's
saying
the timeline we're discussing now with regards to
the hustlers.
the hustlers. There's 2 aspects of it.
Right.
One, again, you're not dealing with literate. We weren't dealing with men of literacy.
Mm.
We were dealing with men of skill.
Yeah.
We were dealing with men of talent. Hence, you had rote, the practice of rote, which is, I just hear it, a plate.
Yeah.
We're talking Ken Professor Fillmore, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the point in time, information was not accessible. We didn't have the information then to know that he had perfect pitch. So there was a lot of trauma and abuse attached to his skill while trying to exist in the world as a child and eventually as an adult. Which is why he impressed Kitchener so much that he could just hear something once and then turn up behind the pan and play it as though he knew it.
Yeah.
That's perfect pitch.
Yeah.
The ability to just hear a song and know what note it is. All I have to do is understand the instrument and then I go to it, right? So we didn't have men of that.
Yeah.
Men had to figure it out in the yard.
In the yard, yeah.
And this is one of the things that contribute to the community that is pan. Because I'm figuring it out with the players. And so that sharing of it happens. So that takes more time than somebody preparing the music and then coming and bringing it. Right?
Yeah.
There's a literacy thing on that side. The other part of it is the arrangers who would probably have an idea of what they were going to do because they had the skill of perfect pitch, for example. Back then, bands never used to run whole song.
Right.
It used to just get
blocks. Yeah.
And not in order.
And not in order. Right? So even the players didn't know what the entire
song
arrangement
was,
sounded like until they reached the Baba Green.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And even because that's what the competition was. The competition was I want to know what our band playing. I want to know what I want to even the neighbors who was next to the farmyard could know. And that's how we learned that from Alvin Daniel saying that he was neighbor, so he was always hearing the sections. He was hearing the different parts of it.
But it didn't come together at all.
On the stage. Or matter of fact, on the Baba Green, because the band doesn't know what comes next, right?
Yeah.
So then the arranger goes, all right, you go in here.
This part, and this part, and this part, then you're done.
And then you run it for the first time.
On the green.
And so
which contributes to the culture of the greens, of being there on the track.
The Baba Greens, carefully. You can't just say green just so now because they go feed it talking about.
Nah, we're not on the Baba Green. We're not on the We're out in front.
And the corporate bullshit.
We're out in front.
Understand what that excitement did when you was on stage, which is why you will get the example of that 1990 video that talk about with fun play. Because everybody heard it for the first time. And also the band is now experiencing it for the first time. We're talking frequencies. We're talking that Punjabi. That Punjabi is a real thing.
Real.
That's not that thing people say.
I still fighting it.
That's a real thing. It is
still
a mysticism that floats through the space. For Carnival in the yard, but specifically on that Savannah stage. I remember teaching my niece and nephew that, and we were in North Stand. Yeah, North Stand. All Stars was on stage, and they were little because they followed the river. They wanted to know they like that. And we was talking to each other, like talking to people, and then something happened. We really weren't paying attention. You know, when you back there, you really don't hear the band and everything, right? And then something happened inside of All Stars, and the whole of the North Stand did. And everybody, when I turn, I watch Christoph and Krista, and they face on, and they're watching me. And everybody pause. Like I'm telling you, normal pause raise. You see things, moments like that. And also say, that happened. I didn't hear again. I don't hear the things that went up in the tower doing commentary for final.
Yeah.
I'll admit that. But that and that same whoop
that has happened for finals night this year after All Stars play.
Yes.
See that time?
It did
Not on that time. Not on that time at all.
It did happen again.
Not on that time.
Something that happens. So that Punjabi is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? So when you add all of those things, and now we hear the music for the first time on the stage, and that also comes through the play. So the execution is different.
Yeah.
And then when it affect people, it affect people. You understand? But now things have changed.
Yeah.
So you have people who understand that practice and that tradition of it.
Right.
And then you have men like Chit Samaru. And I'm sharing this with all you. I learned this new. This year I learned this also with Amrit. He said his father always respected people's time. He don't believe he say practice is running from this time to this time.
That's where it is.
If he said 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock practice is finishing,
that's it.
He's done
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
Because you have to respect people's time.
Yeah. And Renegade still doing that up to now.
Which is doing what?
They don't go beyond a certain time.
Yeah,
practice
let
finish
you
11
know.
o'clock.
We
Yeah.
go in late. If we go in late, we'll let you know. But then Renegade is also a prepared band.
Yeah.
It's not for the season. They just put this energy in. Renegade's putting this energy in all throughout.
True.
I can't say I know of any band right now in this space that doing that kind of work that Renegade's doing.
No.
Renegades don't start. They posted up yesterday, learning their classical. They're back in preparing for the Germany tour already. The same energy that they just approach the Carnival season with.
Yeah. But
that is a big reason why that hustler thing comes into play. No, I hear you on men skating. We have the same, you have cutters and you have skaters, right? I will admit to you, I was a hustler. My max band a year was 22.
Play 22 bands?
22
Madness.
bands. And I eat every other me. But there's a difference between I could identify those who can do that work and those who can't. The cutters and the skaters. All of us who could have done that were studying music in UE.
That's right.
We are musicians.
That's right.
So we're not just learning one note comes next. There's a different processing of the music in our head.
Yeah.
And so, you know, because it's like, you know what I'm saying, like, you do believe that artists who do cruise work, they have to learn at least 500 music.
Songs.
They have to learn at least 500 songs
to
even be considered to be
cruise
line work.
Yeah.
If it does somebody had to learn 500 songs.
Yeah, that's shake your cage one time.
Yes, but it is very much possible. But you read that is the work. As a musician, they work.
Yeah.
Not men who go up our Carnival season.
Yeah. But you're also not learning 500 pieces of 10-minute songs. You're learning first and chorus, and you might do a little ramage.
No,
in between.
On cruise, you have to do the song exact.
Well, yeah, that's a 2 minutes. That's
but
a 2 minutes.
Arrangements.
Right.
That you have to learn with your band and whatnot.
Right.
But I absolutely do hear you on.
That 10 minutes. Skaters, boy. I can't take them.
Skaters are a problem.
I can't take them.
I never used to mind it because when I was section leader, I never used to mind you could do A1 just when I read my music.
Yeah, make sure you have it.
My music.
Yeah.
If
you don't have it,
you get dropped.
That's
so where's that today, that skaters, hustlers, whatever, what is like that still operating like that today?
Skaters and cutters, because I don't want you misusing the time. Skaters is people who just skate through the song as
they look like they're playing, but you ain't playing.
You play along those because they have no close to each other. So we just call it skating. A cutter, just like in drums on the cutter, you're sure about what's coming out. So, in Mohammed who are walking near Jelani Sialto is
Rastaman,
one Rastaman. Nobody can fight him. That monster. I would put my hand on a block and he is the baddest man we have alive right now. Because the way he does eat music and execute music.
Because I see him play, I see him he play with a real band down.
Every year.
Real band and he in the front,
Oh yeah.
Man would him high, boy, he wouldn't even go in the back.
We ain't it for. It's not a high thing. When they're setting up that front line, it's also based off of performance.
Yeah.
So he can execute that and love our country.
Yeah, he born in that. He born in that.
To see execute and kind of people will call him a lot of bands when they do have players ready in time for judging or whatever the case is. You call men like he. Because them could come in an hour or two before you're judging, learn their music and execute it better than people who was in the yard learning the music.
Yeah, I got that. Me talking about it. He ain't not yet talking about. You see the rest of them? Oh God.
But again, musicians versus players.
Yeah.
Musicians versus
So where's the way to end that is paying them remuneration?
Yeah.
How that improving?
Well, the president now.
Yeah. She had to start putting the money where the money supposed to go.
I think it will improve. I know why I think it will improve. Bands now learning how to not be bands and evolve into brands.
Businesses, yeah.
And the reason for that is the quarrel of pan bands and pan men always having to look for money because running a band is an expensive thing, right? Having to look for money. The millennials specifically who have now positioned themselves in authorities in different bands and whatnot. We not on that begging attitude. We can sit down here and admit we're not on that.
Yeah, we're not on
that. I'll figure out how way.
Yeah. I'm gonna get that money,
That self-sufficientness about we.
Yeah.
That attitude is what evolves a band into brand. And a lot of bands are doing that. So you look now at bands are now learning to own the land.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then when on the land, what do you do with the land and the space that can make you more self-sufficient? So soon, I'm saying this confidently, right? Because leading that is renegades.
Yeah.
Is a band for hits.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of reasons to hate them because the attitude and knowing they want to strangle them, right?
Yeah.
But you have to give Jack.
The jacket. Yeah. Business wise, you can't talk about.
You cannot fight a man who could stand up on the word. Right? Renegades is leading that. Notice the approach of the rebranding that Renegades has been taken. It's a very corporate approach that does not interrupt the grassrootsness of what the art form is.
But a big part of that too is the sponsorship understanding their role to it. And the business side of it.
Good. But understanding business is still thing that people, because you give them money don't mean we're doing business.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Renegades have the relationship with BP for over 50 years.
Yeah.
50.
Change your name, come back.
50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Continue.
You
That's a breed that kind of stability.
Keep
your sponsor
a
for 50
relationship
years.
like that.
Keep your sponsor for 50 years.
That's a whole different
That's
thing.
our next different conversation.
All Stars has started doing it too. All Stars buy the property next door to them. All Stars now have rooms you can rent for offices, conference, if you're having a thing or whatever. They now have a souvenir shop. They now have an open bar that semi-loungish like that you can walk in and thing.
Right.
So we know of the Carnival Monday and Tuesday thing, but it's never enough. So you're soon going to see, I'm confident that I'm saying this, you're soon going to see pan bands operating like corporate entities.
No problem.
I don't know if you that.
Self-sufficient. And so they can, I'm not saying that they would because that's a question of a man's integrity. But they will be able to be in a position where you can favorably pay players.
Properly.
And if a man eating properly here, then I'm not
going away.
Myself.
I go like in 2000. You guys.
Yeah, I get it.
And my band to debt. And it's not just money too. It's out of you see, we have to think in equity.
Right.
It's not always a cash flow thing. That this goes beyond the pan and the culture and whatever.
As always,
because you have to be able to give me other things.
Yes.
Plenty players inside of, for example, again, renegades and say they really setting the tone, and instead of fighting, we should be learning from them. Plenty of them visas, passports, smoking, and when they travel, when they go on tour, they are experiencing that zone that is Beyonce, big celebrity treatment with them,
Yeah. I saw it was with Invaders too. When I was there, it was like, yo, shh. But Carl make sure that. So when we going on tour, everybody get the letters. When you reach immigration, it's another talk. All they come from. Where the invaders people?
Right.
Where the invaders people? Die them day? Alright, all they come. Papers. Everybody get a thing and we gone. You know? But one of the things I want to also...
Somebody comment here and say, Neil Gittins say, I think All Stars and Renegades give their players an allowance.
They do.
They do?
They do.
I was told
That
this year.
my brethren.
I was told this year by All Stars.
When then?
Because I went and asked a question and I don't just say, I hear talk. I was,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I hear talk.
Yeah. He said, yeah, we do. But not only that, they are paid quarterly.
Yes.
So every 3 or 4 months.
They get out us.
And which is why they started finding people. Because they ask people, you sure you want to come and play with this band?
Yeah.
If so,
this is what we expect.
This is what.
Yeah. Sign that line there.
This is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now, we discussing also the practices, how you learn to work with your tribe, you understand your tribe, right? Already guys doesn't have to do that with people, their players running 10 toes down for the band.
Yeah.
Right? But All Stars admit they did tell me that every I think it's either 3 or 4 months, in your bank account you just get a deposit.
But that's what we talking about.
If you say you're part of me,
yeah.
If you part of my team, you part of my team. If you part of my community, I deal with you.
Yeah.
So I asking this question from outside, right? Obviously, all they involved in the pan thing and thing. I only started listening to pan as an adult. I couldn't stand pan as a child. Right?
We'll forgive me for that statement.
As an adult.
No, I have to forgive him. I understand why.
No,
because we don't.
Nah, you know what I mean.
Right? So, as an adult, no, I look at it differently. Like, I would like to see more effort. Again, I'm talking from pure ignorance.
Just talk the disclaimer.
I would like to see more effort put into people making a living off of being a pan man.
That is.
Hold on. What do you mean effort?
No, I think I know what he mean. I was now about to say that, what's the lady name? Ramsey Moore? Right. I have to give her credos for bringing back a lot of the events. Right? Because it had plenty of things. Throughout the year, right? She need to bring back Pan Ramage. She need to bring back the 2 Pan festivals, school and big band. Because in there lies the problem. The Pan is not bringing in the money so that all they could pay the players. If all they run Pan Trinidad like the business it is, they have real money to make. I remember when I was going to school, when I was going success and thing, you couldn't find me during the year. Ask my mother, she will tell you could not find me during the year. Because even though I doing music with Ms. Dikoto, I play in pan with success. Bacchanal.
Somebody know ask about Chini comments, you know. What's your name? Albion or something, so?
Albino Dikoto,
yeah. Neil Brooks, Earl Brooks Jr. asked about her.
Oh, well, yeah, he know Brooks Silver, yeah.
Brooks, I love your boy.
Right? During the year, I playing with, even when I was playing with Harmonites, I busy. When I come home from school, I go in practice. Because I practicing for festival. Then when I'm practicing for Big Band Festival, I'm practicing for Success Festival. If I'm there, I go in Pan on the 21st. If I'm going Pan on the 21st, it's Champion Concert. Is what is the one they used to have for Pandong Memory Lane? The one they used to have in St. James. Point 14 Borough Day. We used to go Arima.
Last year. There were events for Pan
all year.
Yeah.
But of course, and she because she moved my Lavantel one year and she had to fix that. She had to bring back Lavantel. They didn't have Lavantel last year. After Emancipation, remember, they just have the one on the main road. They didn't have it.
The Emancipation
the Saturday after Emancipation Day, they just have the one on the main road.
But that is not. Let's be clear about something. All these events are not initiatives
of Pan Trinidad. Well, it needs to be.
But anything Pan is supported by Pan Trinidad.
Right.
As long as you're doing something Pan, you go to Pan Trinidad, and it's not a matter of, well, we see if we can.
Yeah.
Pan Trinidad as an organization is not too cool. Don't get it twisted. Pan Trinidad will find a way to support. And they do. That is what the organization is.
Right.
That's what you're talking about that has happened on
the main road. Yeah. As a private thing?
and the community center, I can remember the
Lamante Community
right,
Center.
it's that group that has really put it on.
Oh, for real?
So we need to support
They
that
will
group.
go.
All
So
right,
I
well,
think,
we need to get to them.
and to be fair to Karen, post-pandemic, not everybody recovered the same pace.
True.
Eh?
True.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happened this year.
I would hope so.
Pan had a very successful
I would hope
last
so.
year
Yeah.
into the carnival season.
Yeah.
Pan is in a really nice
Plummeting
place.
place. Yeah. The culture on the whole, because as I say, I was following a lot of your videos and things, along with some other people. Yeah, as a real follower. And I see people there, the girls, the Jammettes yard. That was nice. The stick fighting, that was nice. You know, so you're starting to see a lot of people said too that they preferred those events versus fetting.
On Twitter, a lot of millennials in the mid-30s.
Yeah.
Even before the season started, admitted that this season they were not going to do their usual using the season for fest.
Right.
And a lot of people admitted that it was the first time doing the
cultural thing.
Quote-unquote cultural thing. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right? The more cultural things. And so I was macroing Twitter for that because Twitter didn't want to talk the thoughts.
Yeah.
And so that you get the opinions of the people.
How much characters? 140?
Huh?
140? 140?
Characters.
To type, yeah, 140. Yeah. That's why Ryan had
So
Neil, so many,
Neil get in say again. I say and the more years you play it All Stars, the bigger your panorama payment is.
Yes. Which
but that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. That is what we're talking about.
You take care of your people.
That is what you have to do.
Exploiting. And there was a lot of exploiting because there's illiteracy.
Is a lot of exploiting.
Earl Brooks Jr. say that he agrees with the stance that it should have more the variety in the music. With competition, he said that is what is make the difference.
Yeah.
I remember Panorama was jazz.
They have all intentions of
bringing it back.
Yes, but also understand. We had to be fair. Diaz was in the position. Wasn't it about 10 years?
Decade, yeah. He was there long.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
That's the undo.
Yeah.
Beverly and she team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that thing I can't say, of course.
Yeah.
But Beverly and she team.
Yeah.
The shit show they walk into.
Yeah, no, but she cleaning it up nice. You ain't gonna agree with plenty things she doing, but that's the thing. When you take a stand and you really say, hey, what's going on? We fix anything.
Yeah.
And if
I
we
don't think
fix
it's
anything,
a standing of the character of the person.
we fix anything. If we fix anything, of course you ain't gonna like me moving this bottle from here and putting it there. Because they are accustomed seeing it there.
Especially if it was
from people
who are accustomed to it there.
That's
right?
a monkey experiment.
Good. So we move in it. And if it has a fix, I don't have a problem with that. And all kudos to her, and I would say this to her, ma'am, do what you have to do. If you don't come back after, do what you have to do. What is required for the people, fix it. So that even if you come out of office, it will be hard. And I will come and them understand it. Them know, them come in, they fix up everything, and they go on. But them know them coming for one term.
Yeah.
But when they go on, all the people in PS and thing and everybody sort it. Oh, all right.
Gain your team community.
Yes.
Effective leadership. Because she cannot implement nothing without being supported.
Of course.
Internally, I sure that us have the conflicts.
Of course.
I sure it's have this back and forth because it's still dealing with humans and personalities and whatever. But once we understand what the intention is, and I can admit, I could say this. I think I could say this. I could say this. That Beverly Ramsey team from when they got into position to now. If you notice, the players who initially, some of the players who initially came in are not players there anymore.
Yeah.
They also, even in your own community, in your own team, you just have to filter.
Oh, for sure.
Because if you want to know the real character of a man, give them power.
Money,
And so the conversation, I was telling people that even with the NCC talk about gypsy and the this and the that, the conversation all they're trying to have is not about conflict of interest. The conversation you want to have is about the character of the person who is in charge.
Yeah.
The right leader will get the work done.
Facts.
The right leader could be struggling, could be suffering, could be having a hard time, could have everybody beating up behind them, and it would not matter because the people who on their side, who in your team, who which you 10 toes down, they know what the public don't know.
Facts.
The right leader will never starve alone. The team will starve with them. And then when it's time to eat, the right leader will feed the team first. Hear me? Hear me?
You have to eat last.
The conversation is not what needs to be done, you know. The conversation is the character of the person who claims to do it. And Pan set the tone because before Pan prelims, the conversation around Carnival 2024 was the season. I think the Carnival spirit. And then Pan carried the whole of Carnival 2024 back.
Agreed.
You've never seen a crowd like that for prelims in the years that you want to see this year.
And I think a lot of people was a little more comfortable coming back out. The fear factor with the COVID thing was gone and people was back out. But that in particular, the Pan carrying, next year what I want to see though, is I want to see a little more, because we tried to have that conversation in the shop here and people talking shippiness in my head. But then I say, all right, no worries. But about the expense of making a song and whatever. All right, I'm not saying no. But where the artists, I building a Pan song YouTube list right now, are going back, right? And are building with all the designer and the Fosto and kitchen hands. Because remember, every carnival, Calypsonian and Calypso, soca artists, everybody used to designate and say, here we're going on, I'm bringing our Pan tune. So the Pan band and them, you very rare that year with Pan by Storm, it's only really 2 bands you hear play that song. Because it had so much music. Just in your face, same thing. Panberry and Potential was the only 2 bands probably I think play that song. You never really used to hear, when I hear 6, 7, 8 band playing DNA, I say, what kind of shit is this?
Like I don't know.
It's not no music? Don't do that.
Saying that, she thinks it's time that maybe we pick and choose a bit more carefully. And we try to, for a little while, we do play songs that bands have played already.
Yes.
Everybody still have in their head how a band play Engine Room.
I agree with that. I don't like.
We give it some time.
I don't like the bringing back the old tunes. I don't like it because you see it gives people a kind of laziness now. Because you could go back and pull from there, but what happened to the music this year? All right, it has some songs. Oh, nobody in play. Anyway, you play basket?
Huh?
Yeah.
Nadi?
Them children and them play.
The school bands.
Yeah.
And what about the next one she have?
Boy.
That song Sweet Boy.
Oh, every time I take a step.
Oh Jesus
God.
Christ. That song has music in it, boy.
Yeah.
The next one, Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren Sweet.
Run away.
I prefer Run Away too than in the end.
Yeah, but you're contradicting yourself, You Karen. One, art has no expiration. So how you ask for setting an expiration on art?
No, I'm not saying that. But you see, in doing that, because you're stifling the music too.
You want to play more of the catalog of the
exactly what you just said there. So then if I put out a song this year, and we go next year, and the next year, and the next year come, what happens to that song that you have now set an expiration date on? It is considered an old tune.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's one.
Right.
2, the teaching again. One of the beautiful things about a Pan arrangement is that you are taking a 2 to 3 minute long song
and stretching it for 8.
Expanding the story. Pan is like me, we talkative. If Taika and I had the same experience, Taika going and telling the story
in 2 seconds.
30 seconds. Forbes going and telling the story, it's going to take 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? It's an expansion of the storytelling that goes into an 8-minute window.
Right.
And then art is open for interpretation. And I like that you made the point because it brings up Starlift this year.
Yeah, Starlift shake people cages here, man.
With an old tune, a song older than me. I am 34 years old and Kitchener dropped that tune in 87 or 88. One, and not just drop that tune, but the particular tune that it was still echoed pan and A minor. They say they want a musical change in pan. I didn't tell them yes and I didn't tell them no. I just tell them I will do the best I can. He do that in 87, 88. Why them lines still hitting the same way right now in this space? And more so, we have heard multiple arrangements for pan and A minor. Basically, that was Dante do this year. I would admit that was my favorite arrangement for the season. It was beautiful because it mirrored for me that same pan jumping what we're talking about. The American equivalent is Phantom of the Opera. And his approach to the arrangement was very classical because the song is a
classical piece.
Not a classic,
classic piece.
Right? Ryan didn't know about that. I knocked Ryan last season, right? So
you maybe didn't even know what that song is.
Right? Nah, when you get the blind, you go know. I'm gonna get that blind. Alright. I probably played when he was growing up.
You know this, alright.
Yeah, played that. Right? The arrangement that Dante built. If anybody could get to go back and really listen to Starlet's interpretation of pan and A minor for this year. And more so, because she did, it was done in collaboration with Colonel. The remastering of the song, as well as Colonel was in the yard every night.
Making sure.
Not making sure, you know, that supporting.
The energy.
And for him, because I spoke to Colonel during the season in the yard, for him it was also a learning experience of pan because he's of the soca world. In a big way too. Half a Marshall career.
It's Colonel. Fox.
So you're Marcus Ash Tracy, right?
Oh God, we don't hear you.
Marcus who?
Ash. And the education officer of Patrick Nichols.
Go ahead, Ash. Let me hear
you. Say pan has definitely risen in standard today from years ago. Steel pan events were the only events that went through without any incidents. Steel pan brought everyone, no matter their age, ethnicity, class, etc. together. Dante took pan in A minor and he had a whole different spin that no one was expecting. He's a boss.
Nobody.
Correct.
That boy was they can say it big, look at here. After the season, or there's not a question Dante panting. Yes. Or there's not a question that boy. And you know what? Let me make a little back and I'll just bring it resolved in it.
Yes, go ahead.
Let me put in a context.
Go ahead.
When Duvon Stewart was a fat man, right? As he was over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
When Duvon Stewart was a fat man and really building his career to get to the place of renegades now, and the man absolutely deserves where he is now. If he was in the pan world and you look to the left or the right of Duvon, somewhere inside of there was Dante
Panton.
That was the right hand man at one point.
So you finally get some space to unleash then?
Dante's been working.
Okay.
He's been working. But like I was saying earlier, we have a lot of arrangers in this space, but there's not enough opportunities.
That's the same thing I'm talking about.
Yo, Marcus, you said Joel has the sweetest legs I've ever seen. Jennifer McDonald
that mean the camera saying things.
Jennifer said, poor Ash. They ain't even entirely.
What?
And the legs getting dragged. Oh shit. So that's why he come back and say, Joel had the sweetest legs she ever see.
Yeah, that's one of the things. That's one of the grosses I have with each one of these spaces now, where you have all these gatekeepers and they're not giving people a fair shot now. You know, all the drummers, oh God, it have got a drummers coming up.
I mean, I think there is space for gatekeepers, but the gatekeepers have to know how to
gatekeep properly, integrity.
Because there's some of our culture that needs
to be gate. Yes, it needs to be kept. Yes.
Right?
Yeah, because you can't every time the canary running in.
And then it'll be bastardized and it'll be bullshit.
Correct.
So gatekeepers need to learn how to
gatekeep properly. Use the sifter. Yeah, use the sifter. Use the sifter.
Regarding this, the second time you make the statement about the drummers.
Yeah.
And this goes beyond pan and into the culture, into the so-called, it's anything of song that requires drumming.
Yeah.
This year, I'm telling you in big, we have a lot of drummers who had the opportunity this year.
Excellent.
In the past, there will be sharing of drummers.
Yeah.
This year, some of the more popular drummers.
Yeah, big up man like Foster.
They haven't been able, they only been able to secure one band and commit to one band, which is why they could now negotiate. This is the same
fee.
hustling.
Yes.
I know the players thing will happen because I see it happen with the same drummers.
Okay.
Pay me the 30 or 20,000 for the season.
Yeah. I ain't going away. Yeah.
I could.
Yeah.
I can feed my family for two months.
Yeah. I'm good. Yeah.
Particularly in the junior competition, and I was telling Marcus this too actually. All the bands in the junior competition this year had their own drummer. Young drummers.
As it should be.
I watching fun play. I think the youth band is 11. Drum for the band.
Are 11 years old?
If you hear how that little boy hold down that band, and drumming for a pan arrangement is a difficult work, eh?
Yeah.
That's not easy at all. This year, of all the different instruments, I can say the next few years, when they come in, we'll see a drummer. They might see a guitarist. If you want to put it, we have a shortage of guitarists. There's a rotation and a recycling, and I tell you this from one of the more used guitarists in the space who had a difficult season.
Strings, right? Strings, right? Okay. Not guitar pan. Yeah. Okay.
Electric guitar.
Yeah.
He had one night, he had about 4 or 5 gigs.
Ooh.
It's not possible. So now we had to be calling people and but they just record the rehearsals and then they send the rehearsals. Some man can learn the set while you drive into the venue because there's a shortage of guitarists. And I'm not saying anybody who can play a guitar, who can play what is required for a live band, for artists, because that's a whole different type of musicianship. There's a whole different one, and you never know what an artist going on do when they want to know, when they want to go to this part, when they want to whatever. For example, in the panel where the drummers or who everybody takes lead from, he carries the band, he's the anchor for the band. On stage for soca with live band, it's not the drums, it's the sample man.
The man with the beat machine. Yeah.
And the sample man calling cues, that's why you usually see them with a mic by them. Them calling the cues seconds. Because you have to study the artist to predict what the artist is going to do next. Because it's an improv the artist is doing on stage.
Right.
Yes, we have our arrangements, yes, we have our whatever, but when you reach that crowd and that energy take you and tell you wherever, you just have to go with the artist say. If the band can't follow, because the sample man didn't call the right cue before or whatever.
Yeah.
Classic example.
God, look back and read that.
Yes.
What is it? Wait that one. I don't give a yes, they could be back again.
Oh God! Hey.
And you know what that was? They rehearsed one thing,
and they come to do something
to the
else.
sample man and spoke to the stage manager about that event. I was there, but I was in the crowd. So I see it, and then I went backstage and I watched the piece from backstage. So the door was going on. I spoke to the sample man, spoke to the stage manager. It wasn't even the call of the sample man, it was the stage manager who made the call and said, don't play. Tell the band stop playing. Because they rehearsed one thing.
Right.
And the manager gave different instructions at the side of the stage that the artist on stage didn't even know.
Yeah.
And so the sample man is listening to the manager, direct the band accordingly.
And the artist went
different directions.
We rehearse,
And then, getting talking professionalism to it. And then, but I know what our band today, what she said?
Technical difficulties. Yeah, well, some technical difficulties.
This lady. But then again, you right type of gatekeeping, what I was saying. A stage manager in any show in theater, the artist is not really who's in charge and who anything. The artist is where the attention is. But the stage is where the attention is. Your stage manager is gone. Any questions you have, your stage manager should be able to answer.
Right.
So the stage manager find you losing your cotton picking man. Don't be talking to that band so.
Yeah, come on.
You know
Come
what?
off the stage.
Don't play.
Yeah.
Don't play.
Come off the stage.
And then everybody on the social media feel them into something, right? What everybody on social media want to talk shit about the band and talk shit about the song. Man, you don't know nothing. Hush your ass. Rest your front. Here we have ease up. But drums is a great place for drums.
Yeah.
Not just in the numbers, but also in the
quality.
They are in a position to negotiate now for themselves.
For exclusivity.
Yeah. You want to pay?
Yeah.
You have to pay.
I like that.
Pan is in excellent hands. Pan is doing great.
Yeah.
Pan Trinidad needs to be applauded. All the bands need to be applauded. The different regions have their own cultures of things, so it's always good to not just experience tongue and go down south. Go what direction? East.
Yeah.
Go east and really get into these spaces when they're having the events. It's a different experience each and every time.
Yeah. Well, let me touch on Nikai. So before we wrap.
Well, I was hoping we done, you know.
Let's go mass and
yes. We going mass, Alicia?
We're going mass first. Mass is an easier conversation to have.
Alright, okay.
Marcus, see the camera angle on point.
I will let you when I this man by.
Right. Here we say as well now. He say he call out some names because he say the drummers now, so he type out some names.
Sure.
Denzel Headley from Codemasters.
Pause. I'm gonna talk about Denzel real quick. Denzel is one of the reasons why we have a lot of drummers right now. Because not only is he an exceptional drummer, he is the teacher for a lot of these young ones who I see playing for bands this year.
Excellent.
Right? Say Rashawn Ramsey, New East Side and Katajamas. Kale Thomas Renegades. And Christopher James All-Stars. You say all winning drummers and all young drummers.
Yeah, Kale Young.
Yeah.
You know Kale? Fireman.
Right. Yeah. Right. Will Brooks said you see with the drums though, but I don't know, they was talking about the sampling. Right?
Yeah, but we didn't have samples in
they're not letting them thing back.
Now we have, because men have stems.
Yeah. The production is different. It's not live only.
Say, Roxanne Hubbard say we have to recognize the young persons who made Carnival exciting.
Oh no, young people had their part for the season.
Come on.
Young people, because all them old people sit down and quarrel and watch it online.
Come on. I was pleased, not just with the judging of the pan, and the calypso and all them things, to see younger faces, because you know when Kaiso Monarch reach, what is the name I think Kaiso Fiesta, you know who you're going and see.
Yeah.
But this year, old folks, this year, no, I'm just saying, in terms of across the board now, even in the pan, right? I know you did tell me, will you tell me, so when I see you, I say, alright, young thing, I say, alright. So I see the young people, you know, and then they change them.
Yeah.
So it wasn't one person or two people for the whole night now. So you get a little ease up because some people voice in there, you know. All the time you can't take that. But yes, you know, you shut it up a little bit and then you pay two different people. You don't have the same people.
That was a beautiful thing, because I'm going to tell you something, right? I grew up with a grandfather who, the only nights for the year that he used to stay up late is Panorama night and the Marsh Grab. And the thing that I couldn't stand about Panorama is Alvin Daniel whole night.
Yeah, boy.
Not Alvin Daniel.
Really?
No, Ole, remember Ole views different because Ole was in the thing.
Yeah.
I talk about I had to sit down.
Yeah. What was it about Alvin that didn't that?
It just like it just get monotonous.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a draw.
Boring, yeah.
So why now we look back and we watch somebody calypso showcase something, we know that he's a walking encyclopedia. Is that right?
Yeah.
He's a walking encyclopedia, right?
Yeah.
We know about calypso and right, but at that age and thing like so that idea we know talk about how to mix it up and you come now and then me and you come and then I think that's one of the best things that they're doing otherwise.
They keep it fresh.
Yeah.
It was very I don't want to say enlightening, but it was nice and fresh because you know you get a new personality. You get what's the girl? What's her name? Nubia? Yeah, Nubia. She was nice. Commentary, you know, and then this young fella Marcus and that dark fella was with him too.
Marcus was with him.
That dark fella with him, a big kind of strapping fella. He was with them. Two of them was good. Yeah, they was going, you know, and then they was making a little kicksy. He was talking that shit. And you know, it was fresh now. You know, so you know you ain't really bored in between.
One of the first things I learned about media in defining what is your role as a presenter.
Yeah.
You really forget all of it.
Yeah.
At the core, you are sent to inform and entertain.
Right.
The entertainment, I don't need it to be jumping up and down and doing tricks and flips and whatever.
Yeah.
So because of the nature of the job, entertainment comes in the form of personality.
Personality, yeah.
Some people don't have no.
Oh God.
But they inform.
Tell me about it.
And then to be fair to back then, what media was, we mirrored, the standard of media was mirrored by BBC.
Yeah.
There's no personality in
unfortunately. And that's something he's always talk about. Even in the sports.
And we do it here. It's boring.
Now and the and
the pass.
Oh my God, he passed the ball. Goal! No.
We have personality. Trinidad have a Trinidad. Yeah, when you watch a map, just look at the two islands alone. Like that doesn't saying something at the end. We commentary on the various aspects of Trinidad culture does not reflect that.
And that's why I like Marcus in particular, because Marcus not under he grassroots, he's talk how he's talking. You know, and he nah boy and thing and you know, and you're hearing yourself in him now. So it was kinda, you know, less tense.
Alright, stop talking about Marcus.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, sorry. I ain't joking.
Don't stroke now.
I ain't joking that thing, yeah.
But
so where we going? Where we going now? It's a mass.
I mean, there's not very much to talk about with mass because
we didn't have much to see exactly.
Yeah. And
the Kiddies Carnival is
them running it.
Again, youth.
Youth.
The kiddies came out in all their glory.
Splendor.
With their beautiful costumes.
Yeah.
They was in the hot
They
sun.
jumped, they sweat.
They jump, yeah.
They jump, they sweat. All 6 o'clock in the evening.
They're still going.
Excited to be on the road.
Yeah.
My only problem and complaint that I have is the EMA. Oh God, why is it played so hard?
Yeah.
In the carnival and I'm
in your belly, yeah.
Vibrating.
Yeah.
But that's not even just no. Remember we've been
Last year it was crazy. This year it gets worse.
Yeah. Even in the trucks, I keep my my thing off.
Across the board.
Yeah, I had my earplugs. I could
volume and bass heavy. There's no mids.
No mids.
There's no mids happening in the song.
But the children really enjoy this stuff. They jump up. I went to St. James Kiddies Carnival.
Beautiful, yeah.
They put attention into the children costumes. I don't know why we can't really say what the adults.
Yeah. Because yes.
It's expensive and they have the children and it's big section.
It's much cheaper and Lower Strive is proof of that.
But how about K2K? Look at K2K. K2K. You understand? But at the same time, you have the mass now, right? And that is why when we were having the conversation in the shop here, what is missing? Why in the mass, the people not there? And one of the customers made the statement, he said, well, I can't bring my child in town to see that. Right? Because it's breast outside, it's cat outside, it's Bamsi outside. And I don't want my child to see that. You know, while we understand that it have its place. Yeah. The spectatorship of it is you can't.
There's no artistry.
There's no artistry in it.
Just like the problem with the music is there's no musician.
Yeah.
We have a shortage of musicians in this
We don't have no designers.
In the mass world, we have a shortage of artists.
Yes.
Actual artists.
Yeah. And there are people just waking up and calling themselves designer. Yes.
And a place of information.
They're like, okay,
and imagination
is the life in the forest. So your section will be green.
Yeah.
Your section will be blue.
Yeah, yours will be brown. Yeah, and hers will be brown.
Red and orange. No section.
Yeah.
No. You step a step, ma'am. You step a step. This year's theme is what? The forest. Right, cool. Here now, I want a section.
Yeah.
I want to invest in having my own section.
Will you know about man? Yeah.
How much money you have? I have X amount.
Alright, no stay, yeah.
Well, the team is this. Come up with something I never know it is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you because I was on a band committee.
Wow.
I'm not asking you.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
But I you know, and it's something that I started to notice because our section, Candace and them had the sleeves, but when the sleeve reach here, it come across the chest. Or up the neck, right? I said, alright, cool. But then in me scrolling, you know, Instagram is telling you what to see.
Yeah.
I saying, but that looking like we section, what band is that? When I check, it's a different band, but it's the same.
And then all of them all the way from the same producers in China. And
Yeah, they get the same material.
Right?
There's no art in it.
There's no art in it.
It's called Polyphonic Art.
Massive.
And
Art in the cast.
went about 2 years ago, there was a bacchanal where somebody showed you the costume and then went on Amazon and find the exact same costume.
Even going on Amazon,
AliExpress, China,
That's why I had people when they went to collect the costume, they didn't get no costume.
That's right, they didn't come in.
Because they've been a shipping issue for the last 2 years.
It was in customs hold it, and they didn't let it go.
So it's still, they played mass and money for it.
Them rich.
Yes, but it's missing that because it's not about the act.
Exactly.
It's not about being creative.
Exactly. So we go back to...
It is about ignorance and it is also about...
Right, that's what I want to say. Go back to...
I don't care what the thing is.
The first thing is... The first thing is the ignorance that Dre is talking about.
My cheeks outside.
Right?
Not outside.
It makes sense.
And it is really about I wanna play myself for the day or whatever. I take my little loan.
Yeah.
Because you know we give it
Island finance. So many
So what you're saying, right?
And you can get a loan.
Them getting
Easy.
it's free ads them getting here.
Yeah.
Well,
You don't even have to apply, you know.
No.
They WhatsApp you, you agree,
Yeah.
money in your account, we're saying.
And then you pay back 5 times.
Oh,
more.
shit.
Over 4 years.
Oh, shit.
Because you play for 1 day. Because people not, they have Monday. We know.
Yes.
Then when they must you
No, but let me just say this now. No. That next thing I find strange too. A lot of people I see on social media, either they didn't go out Monday or they go out late in the evening or they go out in the morning and come out early and like
But we had to get
something wrong with me.
4 o'clock Monday to
Because last time I played mass, when we did we wasn't so high up on the technology yet with social media. So I sent a text to 3 people. We all here. They said back. They said back.
You start have the thing where you text the code.
Yeah.
Tell you where you're back.
Your bodies, yeah.
And
And
when I send that, we all here. A man boy like home with you. I say, well, I on Rice Road. I past 10 in the morning.
Yeah. What you doing now, there?
What? That was it. So no, I didn't get it now. But if I had played this here, I would have been out there that hour.
Yeah.
Because I want every minute. You understand what I'm saying? There?
Sorry, I was in the March Grady night. Leave the March I went home, bathed, changed, dressed for Juve, went to the Juve. As soon as I see the sun come, I said, right, time to make my way home.
Right.
Right, we're going home. Reach home, 6:45, I reach home. Because I done all the roads in 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's when Juve was in,
right?
Yes.
Time to go, we go in. Right. Reach home, bathe, scrub down in the yard.
Yeah. All the oil and the mud, yeah. Oh.
Then there's a play with those sockets.
Nah.
You want the thing on your skin on your body. We call it scrubbing. They have it in blue oil.
Yeah.
You know that's my favorite part. Is when people just come back or scrape every Monday, clean like that never happened.
That's why I'm saying this for the first time I play mass. I just had 1 or 2 pieces of paint every Monday.
They hear something.
And like
leave home because you're not going to meet your black.
That's still on the skin.
So we tell her for 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Instead of wake up 12 to go.
Yeah.
Then times they play as a t-shirt and
Jeans.
a short pants and a boots with your hat.
Yeah.
We going down the road
Yeah.
and you know the band meets
Monday. Yeah.
You jump up, you reach over 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you go down and sleep to wake up for 5 o'clock to meet the band.
Yeah.
You have to dress.
Chaika. You see it today?
Yeah.
Michael, she won
All night, yeah. The first I play mass, them tell me I was an insomnia baby.
Yes.
I didn't love that fit. They say don't go Soca Monarch. We boy come.
Yeah.
I go on Soca Monarch. I go on Insomnia.
Right.
Sunday I go on and play basketball. After I come from Insomnia, I'm going lunchtime.
Insomnia used to be Carnival Saturday dog.
It's a Sunday. Yeah. I play basketball. And I went to and I probably, with the excitement, I probably fall asleep about midnight. I up Minister 7. Next thing I telling you, because it's my first time playing mass. And I tell you when I does it, when I think I'm like, what?
What you do now then?
Them can't believe that all we went insomnia. Wow.
No,
Tuesday morning, I the first person in town. I buy the band by myself. So when you hear tum tum tum. You use all the volume. Tum tum tum. The band them said I did. I just want to start. And so that's why I saying, so when I see, so when I see people,
be there from subject to when woman on the base
Come on.
When I see people talking about they ain't going out Monday, I trying to understand
no, because
what
they
is.
also don't have stamina too. They don't have the ball.
They not
I tell you, I'm working down to the wire.
I going.
I working and I'm staying for results and going home. I can't go to the
and since the match used to run too late sometimes.
And
everybody used to complain because Tuesday, Saturday,
just now.
I need to go home.
Yeah, correct. You're scratching out of the savannah.
Oh and God. Then men mixing mud up in Belmont. So go and watch and all this kind of thing. Listen, I'm able. The mass has changed so much from just the going to the mass.
There's some comments.
Go ahead, you went.
The participating in the mass has changed.
Right.
And so that whole thing of when they say standard, you know, you're standing up by the edge of the stage, you want somebody to get a standard or a piece of the costume and a child.
Well, leave me alone.
I don't give a child no costume up there, said something.
You're mad. You're mad.
I must give you.
Hey. A costume coming back home,
but you know.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And there's that, but I watched this influencer girl, I don't know she name. The cutesy red one.
Don't know them.
Who does dance with Irfan?
Don't know them.
She play mass this year. And when she posts a video, she's on the pavement, and they just see her fixing her hair, what it seemed like her fixing her hair, and taking off the headpiece. And I just see what she would let the colors out there and thing. And then she stepped forward and walked down, and there was a little girl, 3 people down from her, and she watched the little girl, and she crowned the little girl and tied the little girl in what she was doing. Because I experienced. I remember getting one from Trinidad Tobago.
Yeah.
I had it was a broomstick. This standard was a broomstick. It was blue. And it was wrapped with fabric.
It
was underneath fabric and a floor.
So now them thing again.
I remember,
I was winging your mother. Winging your ass.
I met that girl. I am joining the minority with this.
I'm walking through crowds to take a
Get your backpack.
I'm snatching you.
We need to do it.
I'm snatching you. That's right. That's right.
Don't want to teach you that. That's common sense.
No, they're walking and they wing. When you wing it in your head, in your back, have a scratch on my shoulder from that.
Culture of after lunch, leave your backpack off.
Go in front of the bar and stay up there.
When I said that, they're even backpack wearers. They used to separate themselves. Because one of the reasons, but not just frontline, one of the reasons why people like backpack, I don't want nobody around me when I'm playing my mask.
Come and wine on
I don't want to be wine up on me. It used to be a sign of the mask is for me. This what happening here is for me. I want to free up. And this used to be the sign for man to know. Now you can't go wine up and down. That's how I enjoy it. Lost eye of your body. Yeah, to come in front.
Jennifer, I'm going to say, wait, legacy owe me a standard I never got it about 15 years ago. Oh God,
Mike at the end. What's going on? Let's go.
She said, no, bands need to do a tutorial for people to know how to crab walk through crowds.
Absolutely.
But not just the bands.
That was one of the things to
This is
learn.
what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
People don't know how to walk through crowds.
No.
That blows my mind.
Yeah. Individual.
It's about me and whatever and Katie.
Motel inside, let's say motel.
So you learn how to be mindful of people as you're walking through crowds.
Correct.
I learned how to walk through crowds with
Yeah.
You holding on to belt loop and she going and
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
And she's not listening. You will lost. Not lost.
You will be lost in song.
Yeah. But then they see how people are
Yes. You know, just a walk through poison without your mother,
madness.
without holding she belt. Look for you, for those of you who don't know, poison was the largest band. Poison used to take 6 years to cross the stage.
Imagine.
How was you waiting for poison to cross the stage? Oh.
You imagine you're a child in Memorial Park watching Poison Cast.
What?
That's crazy.
That is insane.
And then you say just come to a party. A good time.
Yeah, I'm not on plan. I'm not on no mass thing with you.
600, 800.
Mass was the core of Black joy.
Yes.
And there's no Black joy in it.
Sorry, melanated joy. Let me take back the black. It was the core of melanated joy.
Yeah.
And there's no joy happening in it. No, it's you go out there and like you have to put on a show for other people. It's not about this is me, this is mine. This is
just talking to them. And they say that the way that you're
the
going
purpose
out
and
is to show up. You what is that talking about? I think Pat Man Warren, that's part of what Man Warren.
Randall.
Yeah.
That you're coming out there now to show you. So all of a sudden, where the mask was the costume, and you was just the person bringing the costume, bringing it to life.
You were portraying
now you
the
is
mask.
Yeah. And
so
you're not even
feel it.
but even as an individual, you spend how much days in a year? 360 somebody. Well, this year we have the full thing this year, right? Everything in February. 366 days in the year. So 364 of it you spent presenting yourself for people in the 364.
Yeah.
Really think about it as a separate from the carnival and the mass thing, right?
Yeah.
364 days in the year, we are performing for others. You wear your mask when you're in work, you wear your mask when you're in your household, you wear your mask in your relationships, you wear your mask in your friendship, because there are people who are changing masks all the time. You cannot expect a person then to know how to free up in themselves and in their own joy for Monday and Tuesday for 2 days. So that affects us as a people at core level now, boy. Even if, because I watch people who experience mass for the first time and still hearing these stories back, it's not the same I go hear Taiko one all you're talking about when all you're on the road. Because we have also learned to behave, to stay in line, to not let yourself go, because what would people say
or think
or whatever. So the performative is and now you're playing mass just to say that you're part of the people who are the money who will afford mass, because mass is now not for the people. The people who deserve the mass now working. The security holding it up.
There we go.
I got you.
I mean, it's crazy, but it really belongs to the children. It really does. It really does.
And I hope that they keep that light in them when they become adults and not lose that
energy.
Not the energy, but the desire to feed their own joy.
Because them getting more days, you know.
What do you mean?
Them getting what 6 or 8 days that we have to play mass.
Yeah, because the week before.
Yeah. 2 weekends, 2 other friends, and it's Saturday and Sunday.
And then in school.
Yeah. Big up them. But it is also, I mean, I went to the Dragon Festival for the first time this year. So the Dragon Festival happens on Carnival Friday after Camp Day.
Okay.
Beautiful. Happens right on Prince Street between George and Nelson.
What is the Dragon Festival?
And so it is this year was 60 years of Dragon Festival, if I'm remembering correctly. And it really is the portrayal of the dragon mask and everything associated with it.
That's why I said it. That's why I asked her, what is the drama? Because most people don't know it.
So out of those spaces in southeast part of Spain, and I think as well Puna and in south as well too, there were dragon bands. So these are the bands that would have the dragon, the bookman, the imps, which would then be designated. In imps, you would have red devils, blue devils, red, yellow, and blue. And so now there's a break off that now, and everybody playing individual, as opposed to it being a band. So a devil band is really what it would have been called. So you have all of these versions of the devil mask. So you would have Beelzebub. You'd have the man who opening the gate with the big key, and he have a big mask, and all of these things would have been handmade, of course. Wire bending, the borrowing of the fabric we talk about, the satin, the sequins, the repurposing of items found around crown, cork, all these different kind of things. And so you have that happening on Carnival Friday morning on Prince Street between George and Nelson. So you have a small, it's so small, it's crazy to me how small it is. Just right there on Prince Street where they have like a little committee that does it, and so they have a building there, and so that's where the mask comes out of.
Right.
And they come from Piccadilly, they come across, and then they come across Prince, going heading west. So it was my first time going. I've heard about it so many years, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to go. So I didn't go Camberley this year. She went. I was like, nah, if I go in Dragon Festival, me making a 4 o'clock.
Coming up, that's when it's sleep. We are done. We are in our rest mode.
Rest mode. I'm gonna stay in my place, I'm gonna sleep, and then I'm gonna wake up and be there for 9:30, 10. It started a bit late, but it is what it is. I was trying not to bring my theater thing into the people and their mask business because,
yes, stage manager.
Yes, just be like, what's going on? We haven't started yet. What's going on? Where the master is? But it's a whole other kettle of fish. So you have the bookman who is a devil who has a big head, who's there. He has a long cape with shining sequins and stuff, and he has a book and a pen, and he writes the names of people. He says, points, it doesn't say any words, he'll point with his pen, and then he will write in the book.
Peter Wade, Peter Wade.
Stare at you. And that was part of that character's essence. And then you have the dragon, which if you read The Dragon Can't Dance, so you saw the play many years ago, that is what the main character was preparing himself for, that dragon festival. So it's literally a man inside of a dragon costume. So he has claws on his toes, and then these scales that are made one by one that are then stitched onto this costume or pants or whatever it is that he has, and his big head, and it's literally with the dragon tongue heading out or whatever. Traditionally, the dragon is held with a chain, and the chain is held by imps, or those little devils, red devils, blue devils, and yellow ones, who pull the dragon away from eating people and setting them on fire, and then that's where you would get paid. When people hand you the money, they would pay the little devils. They would pay the devils for helping them not be demolished by the dragon. Clown.
Sorry.
Serious thing we talking.
Sorry, that's them Christians and them real Ganavan, they sell body devil king costume, right? And so you explained that just now, make me laugh because you're talking about when you have to take your pay. And I said, wow, look at art, because Christians just have to pay the tithe.
Yes. There we go.
I see you saying that run my with the paid run my fish. I don't know, it makes more sense.
Yes,
that's what it is.
So that's and that's the drum pack. That
Penguin to the devil there.
Also in the tradition as well too, a dragon cannot cross water. So if there's water on the ground, the dragon will fall on the ground, roll up, and the imps have to pull him, and there's a dance, there's choreography involved, and there's
which again ties back to the spiritual aspect. You know, I see it in joke, just I was laughing at it, but I seeing the juxta of the spirituality, not Christianity, spirituality. Water is cleansing. Water is what that represents, and so, which is what I've been trying to teach the approach now to children and adults for me. If you explain, you learn why it is what it is, it makes sense because you realize it's exactly what you're learning from another person song.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were teaching, ancestors were teaching
All the
ideally, yes, evil exists.
Hence, they would then have the devils who would blow fire.
Right.
Because we in hell. And hell have fire. And so we bring hell to this part because hell would be this. Okay, look at the, like if we're doing limbo, if we're doing stick fight and calendar, hell and heaven. And this is the plane here that is earth. So we bring in the fire from here and we bring in it here. Hence, Trikanal, we promise the fire next time. Off of writings from James Baldwin and that kind of thing as well too.
And then the plane of death and life. Bongo night.
And then you have
and bongo doing the bongo is you drop on the ground and come back up. That's the play on the real world and spiritual world. Yeah. Heaven, hell, whatever you want to do.
So there's that, and then you have the man with the big key who opening the gates to hell. Which ties into that whole St. Peter thing, but then also ties into Legba, which also ties into how she named must be by the thing, by the cemetery.
Oh yeah.
Who has a close relationship with death and Legba. They're by the gate. You have to open it, you have a key. So you must have that key, man, and you have the devils with the big wings. Those wings have to be made as well too. The little imps have their wings, but the big devils have their wings as well.
That's too. The little imps have their wings, but the big devils have their wings too. Oh, you are a big girl. You're dropping some bars here, you know. Oh, I need to go back into this monologue.
Just saying that, I remember Marshall and David Rudder. I would know much of them go say they ain't go hear that song again because he sing for it. Papa like,
open the gates.
Yeah. Open the gates.
Well, most of David Rudder's music is you'd find that in it because he's a Ifa.
Yes.
And he's always incorporated into
the rhythms and the practices.
The Christians. Oh, let me tell you what I did this. Sorry.
It's okay.
I saw the status. I hope it's not that thing.
No. I didn't think I started about it. Uncle King David did there was a fundraising concert. The Catholic and them had something, and they had a carnival event, and they had Calypsonians, and the main artist was David Rudder. And sitting in that, it was in the bougie, I can't call it no thing, right? One of the bougie Catholic church had it. I sent video, I pictured the auditorium for Taika. Miss Lady, look what the Catholic and them have. And it was hilarious to me how they received David Rudder with open arms because everybody loves King David. But the base of King David's music is, as Frank used to say, the died of hopes.
No, but remember he sang the Hail Mary
song. High Mass. Her least favorite song, by the way, from David. And it's like, again, the mass and the carnival and that spirit of the ancestors, which is why we do what we do, continue to do its thing. Because to watch these staunch Catholic and them praise and sing and put up their hands to David and clap and carry on, I have like, but this is some fascinating shit right here.
In the Dida Hoops.
In the Dida Hoops.
Don't tell them that's not spiritual.
Yes. And then they'll go on Facebook and say devil thing and see what happened to Brazil.
Yes.
You see what happened to Brazil when they said the thing about God and the devil.
I just ask one, I say, in the Bible that you believe in, that is your manual. You don't have a description for the devil, right? So, where that come from?
Visual. All they get are visual from.
That is a devil. I say you don't see no kind of art in that at all. What art in that? No. All I want to do is take paper and glue and water and make one small soap.
You need to learn to stop use your tongue for blood and spit honey. You need to learn that.
One. You catch more honey.
Fly with honey. One. And two, you need to stop sharing your boy unnecessarily. Learn to walk away when you realize, okay, I can't hold certain conversation with you. Don't bother.
But you say art, and that's very interesting too, because the visuals of evil and of the devil are born out of the Italian and French Renaissance
Yep.
painting. That's where we started getting the visuals for the devil. So die with again.
And
So,
that's not even keeping with what they say. They
No.
say the man was an angel, so
so
And then the Bible does describe what an angel looks like,
mhm.
and it's not how we
It's not
present
that.
them to be.
Not that pretty
Let's
she
say that
put
about
it.
the man when he was Lucifer.
Yeah.
He was the most
Beautiful.
thing.
Yeah.
And it never say he appearances change. It
No.
just say he gets it.
And his
Yeah.
gifts were, he was a musician,
Mhm.
so he plays infrequent.
Now we don't have to touch on the.
Guys, we don't need to talk about that.
Oh, but I'll say this too, because earlier on somebody was saying now when I was talking about the jumpy with pan, for me that is also a life and in the in Skinner Park. Like the first time I went Skinner Park, after wanting to go for a few years.
Okay, so it does have its
Yes.
energy.
Yeah.
And then being invited for another few years and then going for the first time quite by surprise. It wasn't planned or anything. It literally happened like, yo, I'm gonna drop a group of people down and Skinner Park. We hopefully drive.
Sure.
Like I don't wanna go Skinner Park for no drive.
Yeah.
You wanna go to the back?
You understand?
Go quite some to go back on the road?
You have more complimentaries there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But like, man, is the fastest beat and change there. Right? Because the van, the maxing even from 6th Avenue, and we here. Thank goodness my mother living, right? What? I'm going down. Man. So the vibe of the talk about has a reaching a certain feeling. Right, that's one thing. Then the calypso just do so. Because at that time, I started listening to the calypsos now.
yeah.
I don't want to, this one talk about, and I don't want to hear your thing on that actually. So that was like Skinner Park corner. That year, I finally do the woman and the real injustice.
So I find out to men.
If I one woman make it up because I stand mine. That year, I think that the do the woman and them real injustice. Terry Lyons was one of them one fine.
Oh, so this is recent. Not recent, we're talking about more recent times.
This was 2018.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right? So I went back the next year. Not expecting to get that same energy that oh shit, no, I don't really want to miss it again.
You went this year?
No. But I say no, when I remember that now, but based on the pan jumping, I say that is there as well because I talk about I watching people, hear the people partying and thinking, I don't know, I see some people sit down on the chair with their legs crossed
And they watching
and they take it in proper.
Yeah,
I even
Oh,
see
the real
someone,
judge was gonna pass
I even see people taking notes.
Yeah. Skinner Park is a woo.
Yeah, so that was say that.
It's a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
I saw
the jerseys and a team.
Yeah, I see that.
an aerial photo, a drone photo of Skinner Park this year.
Skinner Park.
That's why I'll tell all I'll keep saying it. Kaiso will never die, Calypso will never die, Soca will never die, Pan will never die. Authentic mass will never die. What will always ebb and flow is the way the media present it.
Facts.
Because Junior Calypso Monarch is something that I started taking interest in. These children singing calypsos.
You hear what that gentleman just said?
Yes, I heard what you said and I looked away.
Right? The children, 14 years old and singing a national calypso about what's going on in the country. To an authentic calypso / Kaiso rhythm.
Yeah.
And singing like he doing this thing longer than he actually living.
Yeah.
It is not dying.
Ba-dam, ba-dam.
You understand?
Kaiso.
That making front page.
Ba-dam.
we're making front page, either a political bacchanal or the crime in the country.
Yeah.
But we have children doing these things and
I've
they're
been
making
saying
front
this
page.
for a while, so like I dare any publishing house, like any press, to put crime on the 5th page.
Yeah.
And
Try
front
it
page
and
is
see.
only
Positive.
to do that for 365 days. Or to do 5, just a year.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what they buy.
Why you could do that for 3 months and you would see the effects of
Spirituality,
Yes.
spiritual, children Mendoza.
Alright, Charlotte, poetry. I would say that.
Jamaica
Let's
say
do
my
that.
2 favorite ladies.
Hi,
Like, that
Nikki,
is.
bless her day.
Who's Nikki?
Nah, the juice lady.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I think because I just checked this now.
Yeah.
Gang.
So when people talk that, it goes back to how we start with the man who made the tweets, the DJ who made the tweets.
Yeah.
Plenty of the responses or the things we say about Carnival and the culture in Trinidad and Tobago is simply based on either what you see in the media or from being outside. Right?
I think walking away from the conversation, we also have to give grace. No aspect of any one art form you can learn in one carnival.
Right.
And you can't learn it in 2 carnivals either. Each art form will take you a few years to really get into the source of it.
Yeah.
And that's just one art form. And so when you consider how many of it combined that give us Trinidad's Carnival, which is why we are the Mecca.
Yes. The Mecca.
And that's why people will say we have the greatest show on earth, because it is the variety.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the greatest show when you're not watching it on TV.
Get off the couch. But what do I know?
No, we don't know that.
I'm just a mad Jammettes in the streets.
Yeah. Oh God. Nice. Yeah, boy, but
I think I really enjoyed this carnival.
Yeah, I too.
I appreciated this carnival for the disturbances that happened in it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it is by chance. Have to acknowledge because the months leading up to it, a lot of people died. A lot of stakeholders. So it was suspicious. We had a conversation when it was happening. It was very suspicious. You usually lose a tree that fall right before the thing starts.
Yeah. The Mary Bod Act, let's do a little thing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
October, November, December, on all aspects of the different art forms. Wow, this is uncomfortable. But from my own understanding of death and its role and responsibility is that for the work that needs to be done, you need people on both sides.
Yes. That's why I tell that fella in the shop the other day, I say no matter what they do, even with this mass thing, what happened and the issues are of it and whatever, you see the spirit of a thing, you can't kill it.
It is something that literally resonates from our flow.
Yeah.
From the dirt of who we are, and understand that this is not just of this year, this is all the years gone by for such a small space. We want to talk and understand GDP and all kind of aspects, but none of that, But understand that the spec that is Trinidad and Tobago in the world, our soil and that condense of that inclusion of all these entities that did what they did for this space that goes beyond Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
I will tell people the God that is a tree that we continue to say is us. And if you really understand God from a mysticism type of place, you understand that the God is within and it is you. It's to anything. And so the God is a tree. When you say that, you cannot keep seeing it as we've learned from the Western spiritual world as a being outside of yourself. And how you are as a person, how you walk, your character, the information that you have when you're in the land of the living, when you transition into the ancestral realm, your work continues. And we don't know what is the circumstance of that world, but we know the character that existed here. And I'm sure we could all build our theories. I'm sure it is that is the seed of whatever is to be born on the other side. And so the work that comes out in this tangible world is very much fueled by the ancestors. Yeah. And this particular season was, I think, started if you want started. Let me see. Ooh, the big dog you forget. That would be nice, eh? It's Trinidad. Where's game for frog? Boys dead for frog? Where's the joke for school? Boys dead for crackle? Yes. And so this particular season, we start to see the shift that we've all been, and people were talking about the last, let's say, 10 years. Yeah. You start to see it. Yeah. You start to see it happening. Yeah. And that's why now the lesson after this carnival season is you have to give grace. That's been the lesson for a lot of things in the last 2 years. But you have to give grace and instead seek wisdom. Deliver yourself from the ignorance. The more you know, so that's why it is, the more you know brain-wise, logically, go into learn mode, emotionally, practice grace. And that combination, we're going to see the shaping of a carnival that is best suited for us in the now. The gate has been open. The gate open, it's like that hole in the fence that used to happen a long time and daddy, and I used to sneaky for king and queens. Oh, I love that shit. There's a hole, there's an opening now. Even in the Kai, so everybody want to talk about the martial thing, but a gate has been opened. That no other Kaisonian had the weight to open. The only time to press back is if the gate only open for one. Yeah, that's right. That is what the problem is. But we can't say that. There's no problem yet. True. There's no problem yet.
It's only the first year.
We still have to wait and see. And also, let's give the grace, even for Boy. Remember, we watched Boy grow up. Boy did not get to experience and have the kind of stories truly sit down here and give today. He didn't have that. As an artist. He's now living that version of himself. Yes, he's in a different power placing or whatever. And so there's still a grace that the man himself has evolved. We watch Boy evolve spiritually. Remember, we was there for Boy, during the Rasta phase, during the bad boy phase, when he went Rastafari, now he gone Buddhist. We see all the faces of monks. And that's, our carnival and our culture is something that allows people the space to evolve. And you can find your own tribe within that. You can find your own fitting into that, even if your skill is greater than most. His skill is. But you already had to give the man his grace. But we go on Juve, stand up, take whatever, and I turn on the bump for what story. It's Boy, I fucking bouncing too.
In the Juve?
In the Juve Tricanal.
Well, they're the last one, so he might be wanted to go.
But he was everywhere this year, on the ground.
Yeah, he was.
Which is new for him because he wasn't performing in any festival things, so he got an opportunity to experience the festival, which is part of the relearning, which is part of his studies, which is part of his transitioning into this new part of his life as a person, but also his career.
How everything sung and feel from this experience.
Be patient.
Yeah, wait on.
No, that's it.
And it's still happening. It's still happening. Dean Williams, guitarist, who used to play in Ecstatic, actually, many years ago, well-known musician. I remember when Dean went back to school, went to UTT. I remember that, and that was the first time I've ever seen somebody of that popular kids table bring themselves back down to learn. Because I remember having a conversation with Dean, that was many years ago, 10 years ago. Like, but Dean, we tell Trent you go to school so that you can get the jobs that Dean and them live. And now you have men who live the work for years
going back.
and then go back to school. And now you see boy fast forward a decade again, or how much of that, and now boy do it. What if this school could give boy that could help his career as a job? Because, and again, we teach insurance shit. We teach insurance shit.
Yes.
The information, so that's what I'm saying, you have to put yourself in a headspace. Mentally, it should be in, we are learning. Emotionally, give grace.
Alright.
So, Olivia,
Trio.
Yeah.
I'll pick up the picnic.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. And all the equipment starting to let me know.
Yeah, boy.
All the overplaying on your hand.
At the end of it all, one thing I want to say. The carnival Tuesday night. Carnival Tuesday. That day.
Yeah, we'll talk about
when the police show the picture and the videos of them swarming through St. James, right, to say, anything now. I want that presence to make people feel safe in the initial. Give me that presence from since Carnival Sunday, all around the places where the people claiming they're not safe. Because bear in mind, we never see nothing all the time I follow in bands and things going around because before you play mass, one of the things in Carnival was to follow a band. Right. We never study that all the years going wrong in them places, right? But to make the people and them feel safe now.
I think that was just performance.
Who people?
Of course it was, Jarrell.
Yeah, but also to like.
Of course it was. They look more like a band anyway. Right? So,
I don't need my festival policed in that way.
Yeah.
That's just my.
I don't need it. I don't need
That's
it.
very colonial in its
I don't need it
presentation.
neither. But I want to show them what bullshit go on.
Yeah.
I don't need that. You know what I tell you what? All the years we running around man and thing in the back day. And no phone. I was not whining on Jarrell. I want to get something to drink. And then I turn around with the man gone. And back across Queen Street, cut up so much and come back so I can we didn't study in that. Right? So all life in good health.
Yeah, boy.
Well, let be safe out
Thank
there.
you for having us.
Yeah, man, it was lovely.
Right, and well, remember we is the carnival.
Yeah. Right, we out.
Bye.
We out.
Oh, yes. I'm surprised it's alive.
Because I have a perfume.
Oh,
Bye, guys.